that's happening, anything that could possibly, holy shit. Hey, thank you, Jody. That's so fucking cool. Thank you, Jody. That was awesome. Awesome sauce. Thank you, Jody. I sincerely mean that. W's in the chat for Jody. Hey, Vivian. Why's it doing this? So I start my day off by looking through like different things that I think I should be aware of, and just what's happening in the news around the world, within Congress, just like everything, right? And there's a couple of super interesting things that that I want to cover with you guys this morning. But again, hey, thank you for the teacup. We are looking for some debates. So if you are a Trump supporter, or you disagree with anything on the background, go ahead and get in the box. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. I'm going to reset the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals. It'll help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. I want to start with something that I was talking about yesterday. I think I was on Parker's Live when this happened, and I was talking about this, but it was the message that was put out by Trump when he was on Dan Bongino or Blandino or whatever, the former assistant to the FBI director, the podcast or whatever. Like that, he's not that important. But what Trump said, thank you for the cake. What Trump said on that podcast was super interesting, because he made the point that he thinks that Republicans, well, hey, they need to actually take over the voting for at least 15 states. Hey, Kat, he made the point that he thinks that Republicans need to actually take over voting for 15 states, which is fucking wild. And it's wild for a couple of different reasons. It's wild because, first and foremost, like Donald Trump, he's really good at giving up the game. Like Donald Trump, I would hate to actually be a part of like anything with him, because like he always gives up the game. Hey, Audrey. Right? And so whenever they're doing some shit, Donald Trump always like says the shit before they can do the shit. Now, the lucky part for Donald Trump is people that support him absolutely don't believe the crazy shit that he says, which is even more interesting to me, because like he says this super crazy shit, not shit like, oh, I'm going to lower, grocery prices. Like they believe that shit too. But like, he'll say, I want to be a dictator on day one. And it's like, oh, he's just joking. And then he does like dictator shit. And they're just like, oh, that's not really happening. Right. So like it's super interesting that they actually do that. But him talking about wanting to take over elections, specifically the Republicans taking over elections, like I said, that was the game. Like I told you, they were coming after the 2026 midterms. They've been getting beat like a drum. The Republican Party has been getting beat nonstop since Donald Trump won the presidential election. And I keep saying this over and over and over. Jared, hold on, Jared. Let me see. Boom. I got you, Jared. I got you. Got you. Boom. All right, Jared, you're a mod now. I don't know what was going on this morning, but I got you. Jared, you're a mod. But anyway, I've been saying for the longest, like they knew that they couldn't win the midterm elections. And so they plan on trying to steal it, allegedly, my opinion, whatever. But like it's not good. Didn't get a notification. Yeah, check the bell, make sure it's on. The old TikTok has been acting super funny. And the reason why they know it is because of a couple of things, right? These are the special elections that have occurred since Donald Trump took power. There was a special election in Texas, SD9, which was won by a Democrat. They flipped that by 32 points. There was a special election in Georgia, HD 121. A Democrat flipped that by 14 points. Special election in Mississippi, HD 22. A Democrat flipped that by 8 points. Special election in Mississippi, SD 45. A Democrat flipped that by 19 points. Special election in Mississippi, SD 02. Democrat flipped that one by 19 points. Special election in Iowa, SD01, Democrat flipped that by 22 points. Special election in Iowa, SD35, Democrat, I'll check that. Democrat flipped that one by 25 points. And then in Pennsylvania, SD36, Democrat flipped that by 16 points. So all of these special elections, no Republicans won these special no, there were no flips for Republicans in any of these special elections, right? I'm not saying that there haven't been any general or special elections that Republicans haven't won, even though they've won a small amount, but there haven't been any special elections that the Republicans have actually flipped a seat that was held by a Democrat. But the Democrats have been not only flipping seats, but blowing Republicans out of the water. It's not even close, not even close. But then Donald Trump tries to talk about like, oh, well, the reason why they're not winning is because, quote unquote, Trump isn't on the ballot. Trump isn't on the ballot, right? That's been his excuse. And even more so, he's saying that they're going to approach the midterms as if Trump is on the ballot. Well, the issue with that is we can talk about the election that I was just talking about, which was Texas 9th State District, right? Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been trying to grab them. I'll make sure to get them. But we could talk about the one that I just mentioned, Texas SD9. This was the message that Donald Trump put out when it came to, lost me at reparations, can't lie. I think the whole reparation thing is a bit much. Sure, Andy, if you believe that, get in the box. Get up here. We can talk about it in just a second. We can absolutely talk about it in just a second. But Donald Trump put this message out. Today is the day to all the voters in Texas 9th State District, Senate District, get out and vote for the phenomenal candidate, Lee Wamsgans, whatever. She's highly successful entrepreneur and an incredible supporter of our movement to make America great again. My very good friend, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, needs a strong conservative Republican in SD9 to keep Texas red. The radical left Democrats are spending a fortune to beat a true MAGA warrior, Lee Wamsgans, whatever. You can win this election for Lee, who is a complete and total, who has my complete and total endorsement. Polls close at 7 p.m. Get out and vote for Lee. Find your closest poll location here. Lee will never let Texas or United States down. President DJT. So that's what he put out on the day of the election, right? That's what he said when talking about the day of the election. Now, just an FYI, he mentioned how, like, oh, the radical left was dumping money into this election. Guys, FYI, there was $2.5 million spent by the Republican Party on this state Senate seat. 2.5 million. The Democrats spent 380,000. Right? So the Republicans dumped over 2.4, let's just say 2.45, right? Just to make it simple maths. That much more money than the Democrats. And then Donald Trump endorsed this candidate. And not only did they lose, but the Democrats won with a 32-point flip. A 32-point flip. Republicans, you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble because not only is Donald Trump an abject failure when it comes to the way that he and his administration has been running this country, it's also because you can't spend your way out of this. You can't fearmonger your way out of this. You can't close your eyes and ears and say, blah, 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 not going to happen. Every fucking canary in the coal mine is going off. Every single one. Every single canary in the coal mine is going off. Donald Trump is saying they're going to lose midterms. Steve Bannon is saying they're going to lose midterms. Elon Musk is saying that he has to get back involved because they're going to lose midterms and he's going to go to fucking jail. They are trying to intimidate people with ICE. They're going after actual election centers. I'm telling you, there's a fucking blue tsunami coming. And Republicans, you're gonna lose.
You stepped in the box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here, you better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in shame. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats who get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air.
Ain't no
rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong
move, get cooked real quick.
No
cap, no shit.
Oh, you said that was supposed to be a mic drop. Hey, oh, guess what? I'm gonna mute you. Get in the box, coward. No one cares about what you're saying in the comments.
Hey, what you claim on your background. Hey, only if not get clapped down. Whether you're left or right, or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak,
I'll sink your boat. Boom!
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
No.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force.
I'm the
test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You step once, I'm snatching it all. Yeah. Step in if you dare. If you dare. Get hard
like a
punch in the air.
Good morning.
No
good morning.
No plan,
good,
no
good, good, good morning.
One wrong move,
good morning, Akina Johnson over on YouTube.
No shield. Better know your stuff or you get.
Good morning, man with a face.
Step in, don't you wanna?
Fuck ICE.
Sparring with Santana.
Hey.
Step in there.
Good morning to Bash Bell over on Twitch.
Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff.
The Circle Keeper said Bad Bunny for president. You know what? I fucks with that. Chiefy 710, you talking about ice, baby? Ice these nuts in your mouth, coward.
This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space.
Yes, it is.
Sparring with
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. We are only looking for some debates. Roger said JD Vance 2028. Okay, cool. Roger, I'm going to mute you because I don't care what you're saying in the comments. Get in the box. Come up here and tell me about it. Come up here and tell me about the JD Vance 2028. Listen, hey, MAGA, sorry to inform you, right? Sorry to inform you, but my chat is not your safe space. My chat is for cool people. My chat is for people that other people like. My chat is for people who don't smell like cheese puffs or whatever the fuck you guys sit around and eat all the time being losers, because my chat is smart, they're funny, and they're loved. It's not for you. So if you are someone that supports Donald Timothy Trump or just someone that disagrees with something on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Ooh, once I heard the criteria to like be able to get in, I was like, dang, because I just had a couple questions if that's possible, but I know you're looking for a debate, so I understand if you want to move on.
Yep, I appreciate you, friend. I'm going to go ahead and drop you down. Guys, please only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only $1. It will help boost the live and push us out to the FYP. Oh, guys, when you share the live, sharing the live is cool. You can share it once or twice. That helps, right? Don't share too many times, but repost the live. Reposting the live is super duper duper important. It will help get more people in here. So absolutely, if you don't mind, please repost the live. And the point that we're at, right, is that I know for a fact that I have this figured out. I've done the math. We've done the research. It is a proven method. This is how we fix the country. We dismantle the patriarchy. Period. I'm going to come right back to that. Let me run through this. We dismantle the patriarchy. We abolish ICE because fuck ICE. Lock up all the GOP. We eat the rich and we give reparations to non-white people. That's how we fix this country. That's how we do it. That's how we make America great. Not again, because it's never been great for everybody, but we make it great for the first time. So if you disagree with anything on the background, or if you're a Trump supporter, get in the box, because again, my chat is in your safe space. Now, I want to come back to this. Dismantle the patriarchy. I think that's super important. So I've been sitting here and I've been going through some of the Epstein files and some of the accusations and listening to people like say, oh, you know, this is this and this is that or whatever. And it's brought me to one conclusion. Hold that thought. Are you on code? Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I disagree with Abolish ICE.
Okay, cool. But just to clarify, are you a Trump supporter as well, or you just think we shouldn't abolish ICE?
What do you qualify as being a Trump supporter?
Would you vote for him today, knowing what you know?
For sure.
Okay. Perfect. In that case, and I'm sorry, what can I call you? Because I'm going to keep stumbling if I try to keep saying your username. Do you have like a normal name I can call you?
Yeah, FBA.
No, brother, man, really? All right, fuck it, let's do it. All right, cool. FBA, quick question for you before we go too far. Do you know who I am?
Nah, not at all.
Okay, cool. Hey, would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to not only who I am, but what this is?
Go ahead.
All right, perfect. 1 moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. And guys, if you are a Trump supporter or if you disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates, guys. Please do not request up if you are not a Trump supporter. We're not talking to friendlies. We're only looking for some debates. If you're a friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Also, again, I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. It will help boost the live, push us out to the FYP, and so will sending your daily heart me. So lock in for me and do all the things. FBA, the floor is yours. You said that you disagree with the premise that we should abolish ICE. Why do you say that?
Because as Black Americans, immigration is used as a tool of white supremacy. Not saying it's the main force of it, or it's a, you know, it's like the king or the queen of it, but it's definitely some pawns in this battle that we have to go against the system. But everything else you got up there, you know, I don't disagree with. Except I can't even, the non-white reparations. I believe in America. The only people who deserve reparations are Black indigenous people and people who were descendants of chattel slavery.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're definitely going to start with the whole ICE thing, because I talked to not to sound like this, but I talked to one of you people yesterday about that whole premise as far as non-white reparations. We can get into that, but I think that that conversation, I don't know. Anyway, we'll hold that one. Let's talk about this whole ICE thing for a second. So you think immigration is a tool for white supremacy? Can you, I kind of feel like I think I know where you're going, but clarify that one for me a little bit, because I might not 100% disagree with you on that, but go right ahead.
All right. Nick Fuentes, case number one. Hispanic man, well-known white supremacist. All right. Mexico, all right, well-known caste system. A lot of their high-ranking politicians are often European-identifying, Spanish-identifying people. You don't see too many indigenous, darker-skinned Mexicans. They got them kind of
within the political system. You're saying,
within their power system. Within their power system. That actually has power. Actually, not too long ago, I think the indigenous people, the darker-skinned Mexicans, actually were just recognized within the last 10 years. So with that in mind, and the understanding that within the U.S., there are so many cases of Hispanic on Black discrimination, whether you want to go to the 2016 fire BLM in Lemoyne Gardens of the Black woman with her kids, where it was a 96% Hispanic apartment, 3% Black, and they were doing a GA&G takeover. You can look it up, well-known hate crime, all right, within the jail cells. Oftentimes, the Mexican Mafia or the cartels often side with the skinheads and the white supremacists. All right. A lot of our neighborhoods, west of the Mississippi, the Black Americans immigrated to. All right. Whether you want to talk about Compton, whether you want to talk about Oakland, we want to talk about LA. All right. A lot of these places aren't safe for Black Americans in modern day. All right. Because of the GANGs. And we are fighting against a Ferrari with a Honda. Why would I say they are Ferrari? Because they live in a narco state. A lot of the cartels have ties to the governments in which they have protection in order to be able to launder money on a different scale. So you have one GANGs, like us Black Americans, we're fighting against the white supremacist system, Americans, and immigrants. Where you got Hispanics coming over here who have a higher proximity to assimilate within white society. A lot of them actually had a court case that I'd be able to identify as white. So with that in mind, we have to understand that these people aren't our friend. I'm not even going to go into the Africans. That's a whole nother conversation. But I'm going to focus on this.
A whole nother conversation. Yeah, for sure. Anyway,
go
ahead and land your plan, because I didn't want to interrupt you, but I really want to get to a lot of stuff you said. Okay, perfect.
I'll land there. Go ahead.
All right. So the one thing that I will kind of get into is that, I'm not even going to say that I 100% disagree with you on everything, because you did say some things. Right. But the issue with the things that you're saying is not only the issues that I have with the things that you're saying is not that there weren't any facts in the things that you kind of said. It's more so that you generalize the minority for the majority. And what I mean by that is on the premise that all of undocumented immigrants coming into the country, and specifically white presenting Hispanics, right? Because you can't be talking about Black Hispanics. We do understand that there are, Black Hispanics, white Hispanics, because, how race works. But the ones that have access to that power structure that you're talking about that exists in Mexico, well, it's a small representation overall when it comes to like Mexico, or when it comes to Latino people. And even more so, like the majority of undocumented immigrants that migrate to the US, they are Black Mexicans, right? You see a lot of the actual white Latinos, the ones that present phenotypically from the European aspect, from places like Cuba, right? Which that has a completely different system when it comes to the ability to assimilate within the United States. Cuba is the only Latino based country or whatever that has the special agreement with the United States, where once they get into the US, they only have to be here for a year before they can actually become a United States citizen. And that's why you see them being like more conservative and leaning towards the Republican Party and blah, 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 because the assimilation for those people are a lot quicker because of the treaty that we have with Cuba. Now, the big problem that I have, right, is not only just the point that you're making when it comes to like Mexico, because you were super specific with Mexico and how it works within our country and within the jail system and all this other stuff. Like the big problem that I have is that when you talk about immigration, it's not just about Mexico. And it's not even just about those countries that are, you know, to the south of the United States of America. It's about everywhere. And when you talk about what's happening with ICE, ICE is the actual tool of white supremacy. It's literally the modern day slave patrol. And I can tell you more about that, but I want to stop for a second and let you, have a moment to tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think we just different ideologies, because the same people that you call black Mexicans, they always say, me no black, I'm Mexican. Mm-hmm. Me no black, I'm Jamaican. Me no black, I'm Dominican. Me no black, I'm Puerto Rican. So we disagree there, all right?
Well, why would I disagree with that? With disagreeing with that point, I understand they say that. I'm not, again, you and I don't disagree on the ones that say that. But when you talk about race and the social construct of race, how it's actually, held up and how it actually persists within our society, they can sit here and say that, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're still categorized as being black people by the actual system that persists for demographics.
I guess I'll acknowledge their semantical point, but you know what I mean. The YT supremacy system know what it means when they speak about black people. They know what they mean, black Americans. All right, they know they don't mean no Nigerian, no Igbo, no Puerto Rican. They do know the difference, bro. The only thing you have to do is check genealogy, brother. Do you not understand how birth certificates work?
Sure, that's fine.
Marriage records work, brother?
That's fine. Tell me what racists or just the average random racist walking around out here looking for, some actual black person to call the N-word or whatever the case may be, to actually discriminate against. Tell me that they know the difference between, a quote unquote black American or someone that's from Ethiopia or someone that's from Nigeria. Like, they don't know the difference. You can sit here and say that they can actually verify it through like genealogy, but they don't have that ability. If they go off of sight and most of the time sound, they have no fucking idea.
Brother, that is a cold cut lie, bro.
How?
It's easy. It's a big difference between the way an African looks and a black American look. It's a big difference. Sure. And as soon as they open their mouth,
let's play a game.
Their household is going to show. Their accent is going to show.
No, because you're right. You're right. There are certain accents for certain people that have are like first generation, second generation, whatever. But when you actually have been within the United States or either grown up here or like born and raised here, even if your parents are from another country, a lot of times they can't hear your accent and they don't know the difference. Hey, question for you. If you had to guess, where do you think I'm from? What do you think I am? Am I Black American, or am I from, I'll give you a couple options. Am I from Kenya? Am I from Ethiopia, or am I from South Africa? So South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, or am I Black American? And no, I'm not Dominican. So you guys shut up. Sorry, go ahead.
But I wouldn't give a fuck if you was from Planet Vegeta. No, I'm just saying, which one
do you think?
Planet Vegeta. That's where you from, my guy.
Come on now. You're literally proving yourself wrong if you can't figure out which one. You said that they can figure it out. And I'm like, cool, let's see if you can figure out. I gave you 4 options, and
I'm not a white
one
person.
Of those options, that's fine.
I'm not a white person, so I can't speak for them.
Which means you should be able to actually do it better. Because
it's not my job.
Because you're black, right?
That's not what I'm up here to talk about.
Hey, come on.
Let's talk about the slave patrol analogy, bro. That's really picking and choosing.
Yeah, we will talk about it, but I need that question answered. Just shot in the dark. You got a 1 in 4 chance.
Planet Vegeta, bro.
So you're gonna be disingenuous.
Yes, because I feel like you're being disingenuous.
That's fine. Bro. I'm not, because I'm literally taking what you said. You said that they have the ability to identify them. I said, cool, let's put that to the test. And so I said, hey, you pick. And so if you can't do it, then why?
Say no more. Say no more. Respectfully, brother, respectfully. Take your hat off, bro. Let me see your head. Let me see your head and your hairline. It's gonna tell it out.
What? I have my headphones on.
No. because if you got that African or that Dominican hairline on that head, bro, I already know what time it is.
That's funny because again,
take your hat off.
They're not going around telling people take your hat off. Take your hat off. Let me see your hairline. Take your shades off. They're not doing that. They're just identifying.
Take your hat off, bro.
So can you admit that you can't do it?
No, bro. I'm not finna admit that, my guy. You got on all that shit. Take your hat in your
No, it doesn't matter because
ICE
isn't running around telling people take your hat off. Let me see what your head looks like.
When they detain you, they do.
No, they don't. No, they detain you first.
What you mean?
They detain you first. You're so disingenuous. You're so fucking disingenuous. And this is the point, right? Because I'm not even sitting here saying that I've been saying this over and over and over. I'm not telling you, oh, I 100% disagree with you because you've said some things that actually coincide with reality. I'm not pushing back on you and just saying, oh, you're completely wrong. But what I am saying is that you're being disingenuous on some of the points and you just sitting here pretending as if the people that are Black don't all fall into the same bucket for anyone that's looking to perpetuate harm and racism on them. Like you're fucking disingenuous. Stop it.
All right, bro. So we gonna keep it a beam, bro. You can say that, and I can be open and say yes. And this is why I can say that, bro. Because I feel like that slave patrol analogy was just as disingenuous because majority of ICE agents are Latino people.
And that's not true. Let's get into that's literally not true. Hold on. Let's get into the slave patrol analogy. But before we go there, I just want to let you know, as far as you sitting here making the point that these Black people that are quote unquote not the same and easily identifiable, you can't say that anymore because you refuse to actually engage in the premise and you actually just proved yourself to be wrong as far as just being able to look at someone and identify who they are. So you don't get to say that, but let's keep it going. So would you like to know why I said they're the modern day slave patrol, or would you like to just tell me why I'm disingenuous? I don't care which one.
Yeah, let me start with the why you're disingenuous, then you can expand afterwards, all right? All right, slave patrol, correct? All right. Chattel slavery is nothing like what modern day immigrants are going through it all. Mm-hmm. All right. So even if they are being detained, all right, they are not being sent back into captivity where it's okay for them to be raped, mistreated, starved, beaten, sold, and bred. Okay. Mm-hmm. And if I could choose between the two, between either one of those or getting strange fruited from a tree or getting sent back home, I choose getting sent back home every time, brother. So that's why I feel like you being disingenuous. And that's kind of letting me know that you got to be an immigrant because conflating what Black Americans went through chattel slavery, through redlining, through post-Reconstruction era, through Jim Crow, you're being disingenuous with what you're saying or you're pandering, bro. I respect you got a platform, but as soon as a person like you be disingenuous with something like that, I'm finna be Dickhead McGee too, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's up when niggas say some stupid shit like that. Yeah. If we could be honest here, I say I'm being disingenuous.
Are you soapboxing like or are you just gonna get to the point? Because like seriously, at this point, I don't really care about what you're rambling about. You're rambling.
I made my point.
So thank you for at least admitting that you're a dickhead, right? Perfect. So the reason why I said that it's modern day slave patrol, not because of the actual instance of what slavery or people who endured slavery went through, right? Not because Black people didn't go through the hardships of slavery. And it's not because we didn't endure breeding farms, that we didn't endure being hung from trees or Reconstruction, Jim Crow, segregation, like the Black codes. It's not that we didn't do all that. It's the actual premise of the functionality of the slave patrol and what ICE is doing. So that's why I said, hey, would you like for me to actually tell you first why I'm saying this, or would you just like to do your thing, which again, doesn't shock me that you just jump right into it. Now, a couple of things, a couple of reasons why I say it's a modern day slave patrol. Understanding the history of slave patrol, it was founded in South Carolina in 1704, and it spread to other southern states. Now, as some of the responsibilities and roles of the slave patrol was, of course, actually going after those people who were runaway slaves, and then even right after the end of slavery, going and harassing and recapturing people that were newly freed. They used tactics such as whipping, beating to punish any types of slaves or free people. They also entered premises without any type of warrants. They forced themselves onto like properties or lands, or if they thought anyone that was getting protection from like white people, they forced themselves into those areas, in those properties. They use law for protection, right? They upheld black codes and then later Jim Crow. And even more than that, a lot of the complaints that were actually connected with the slave patrol are similar complaints that are connected with ICE, including the mismanagement of it and also the people that were in charge. So when I talk about the fact that that ICE is modern day slave patrol, it's because they use the same type of tactics to disenfranchise black and brown people, because it's not just about brown people, right? I mean, they are going after black people as well. And overwhelmingly, they have some of the exact same protections, and they're upholding white supremacy. I haven't even gotten to that because you said immigration is white supremacy. I think the process of quote unquote deportation, what they're trying to do, this is upholding white supremacy. We'll get into that in a second. But now, do you understand why I call it the modern day slave patrol? And would you like to say anything about that?
Yeah, I get why. And I still stand by everything I said. I get why.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Any rebuttal to any of the things that I said then?
I guess besides what you want me to say, I guess I'll say the same thing, is that once again, you're disrespecting and conflating to pander to a certain group because...
How am I pandering?
Because you're conflating. Essentially, bro, you're conflating somebody stealing a pack of Skittles from a store to somebody doing a mass pew-pewing, bro.
That's not
when
true.
We're comparing what's going on today and a level of suffering and the premise behind it, okay? At the end of the day, black people were just vilified for being black and they were getting those things done to them. These people are coming into a country illegally, undocumented, the wrong way, and they're getting this treatment, bro. That's why I feel like you're watering down Black American experience, bro.
Yeah.
Like
so the issue with what you're saying is though, because I'm not,
it's crazy.
The issue of what you're saying is I'm not comparing slavery to what's happening with undocumented immigrants. I'm comparing a tool of white supremacy that was used during that time and the reformation of that tool today. That's why I said it's the modern day slave patrol. I didn't say that what's happening with this deportation effort is slavery. Now, there is actual slavery that does still occur within the United States today, legalized slavery, and ICE is actually detaining undocumented immigrants and feeding them into free slavery while also selling them to concentration camps, which I haven't gotten into any of that. But the point that I'm trying to get across is the tool that was used by white supremacists to disenfranchise, harm, and hunt black people is the same type of tool that ICE is today that's used to hunt, disenfranchise, and harm non-white people through deportation. I mean, hell, again, you don't want to talk about like Africans or any black people from any other countries, but literally they're going after black people from other countries. They are now talking about mobilizing ICE and specifically going into Springfield, Ohio to get the Haitian population that currently has TPS status. If it wasn't for the judge that just stepped in and said, no, they can't remove the TPS status, they're literally targeting black and brown people. And you think just for some reason, because you are, connected to the United States because your family has history within the United States that you have protection. I'm telling you, you don't. You're not special. You're just next.
Okay. That's okay. I'm glad that we kind of expanded, bro, because I didn't say that because I didn't want to get into the African point. The African point is a much more deeper point, and I actually stand against the deportation of Eastern Europeans, YTs, Asians, everybody. It's not just Asians. I just felt like Abolish ICE. This just was an easy thing to understand because the border right there. If you want to get me into the black and brown correlation you trying to identify with, I do not identify and believe that those people are black. If you from Nigeria, hold on, no, you gotta listen to my point.
No, I don't have to believe.
But
listen,
you don't.
I don't have to
thought
believe
this was
to
a
you.
debate.
No, I don't have to listen. I don't have to
debate.
listen to you try to invalidate the blackness of other black people. I don't care.
You're
about
not
you trying
listening
to do that.
as to why. It's
No,
a legit point to why.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay,
I don't give
there
a
you
fuck
go.
about you trying
I know
to.
it.
Yes.
That's how I know you're not Black American, brother.
Yes, yeah. Listen, surprise, slap nuts.
You an immigrant.
I am.
No,
I'm
you're
actually,
not.
No, surprise, you fucking idiot. I'm from, I almost said it. I'm from South Carolina. My family is from South Carolina. My family has roots going back as far as chattel slavery, you fucking idiot.
Do you believe in reparations?
Yes, I believe in reparations. Now, shut the fuck up and let me finish. The reason why I don't care about you trying to invalidate the experience or trying to say that other black people aren't black, you're going to stop. You're going to stop. Have some.
My nigga,
hey, I don't care about you whining. Shut up. Stop crying.
Drop me.
Be a man. Stop
you hopped
crying.
on.
I know.
Hopped on the mute. Disagree with what I.
It's because you don't have impulse control. Stop it. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak when I finish. Stop. The reason why I won't let you sit here and invalidate who is or who is not black is because you trying to strip away someone's blackness is something that I won't do, right? It's absolutely something that I won't do. Are you reporting? Are you being weird?
Nigga, I ain't never been that type of nigga. Chill out.
You
nigga,
are. You are. That's what you just did.
What?
Stop.
Why would I report my guy? I went to go text somebody.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry, Bubba. It's okay. I have my ways, so I will know if you do or don't. That's fine. Let's hold it. The point that I'm trying to get across, right, is you sitting here trying to actually invalidate someone's blackness is something that I refuse to let you do. And so when you talk about black people from the United States of America, or, you know, that were brought here during chattel slavery, and the difference between them and other people from other areas of the world. Yes, these other people have different cultures. They have different nationalities. It's different. Yes. But the black dysphoria, not dysphoria, dysphoria, holy shit. Black dysphoria is diaspora. Fuck my words. Black diaspora is so wide, so vast. And black people go through the same types of racial discriminations. They have similar experiences no matter where they are. So you just sitting here saying, yeah, oh, you're a clown. You're a clown. You got mad that I sat here and called you out, and then you reported for bullying.
Why would I report
you coward? Stop it.
Guy?
You're blocked. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Fucking nailed it. Nailed it. For any of you clowns that think I don't know or I don't have an ability to find out when you're actually reporting, I do. You can try it again. Crash out Santana, cool. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm gonna mute you and come up and tell me about the crash out. That's so weak. I don't understand why they do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and go on my soapbox for half a second because the whole thing is, at no point have I ever sat there and said, I'm mad, so I'm going to report this person because I don't get to say what I want to say. For the group of people who swear up and down that they don't want people to censor people, that they don't care about censorship, stop it. Guess kill me? Okay, Adam, come up here and tell me about it. Oh, can't send you an invite, but I can mute you. Get in the box. Come up here and tell me about it. Come up here and tell me about it. And W, guess you think so? All right. Yeah. So I'm going to mute you. I can invite you up. There we go. I sent you an invite. Come up. Tell me why you said W, guess. Tell me why you said W, guess. The whole thing is weird for me, right? I've never been in a situation where I'm just like, oh, I'm so mad that I'm just, hey, Squid, thank you so much for the galaxy. I'm so mad, I'm going to report you. You guys are fucking weird. I don't know. Anyway, the point that I was trying to get across is that invalidating someone else, all good. Invalidating someone else's blackness is something that I'll never let anyone do. And that's the problem that I have with these people who deem themselves to be FBA, right? You guys are ignorant. You're period. Because if you look at anyone who claims to be FBA, the only thing they do is run around the fucking internet and claim we're FBA. You don't see them in their communities doing anything. You don't see them trying to actually expand the reach or political power. You don't see any of them actually running for office. You don't see them doing anything except sitting online and screaming, I'm FBA, you're a tether. It's fucking weird. You guys are fucking losers. Sorry, whatever. And that's the truth. What's FBA? It's people who claim to be foundational Black Americans. They deal in like invalidating Blackness of other people who aren't, direct descendants of chattel slaves as far as the being here in the U.S. They're weirdos. They're absolute weirdos. Absolute weirdos. Anyway, if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. Only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Cat. Cat, I saw this came in before. Yeah, they are. Noah, you're absolutely right, Noah. W's in chat for Cat. This came in before the actual debate started, but Cat sent a $10 donation saying, hate the news. This administration is so unfuckwittable. Yes. W's in the chat for Cat. Thank you for 10. W's in the chat for Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Thank you so much for the $15 donation. Ryan said, MAGA is exhausting. I really hope you were able to take a mental break. Keep up the great work. I was able to decompress a little bit yesterday. And today I'm going to let them not get to me. I feel like I'm in way better of a mood and I'm just going to try to rock with it. Right? Definitely going to try to rock with it. W's in the chat for Jana for the $5 donation. Saying,
nigga, on God, I ain't report you, nigga. Stop moving like a hoe. Oh.
Shh. Have some impulse control. You're lying. You reported twice. I've
nigga,
already seen it. Don't worry about it.
I was going to chat GB.
Okay.
I was going to, my nigga.
That's fine. I'll give you a second chance. It's fine. I'll give you a second chance. Just sit here quietly for a few moments. I'll give you a second chance. But again, I already know when you do the thing. And he fucking ran. He ran. Oh, you coward. Why would you run? Chris, you said let him speak. Chris, you come up here and you speak. Nah, I can't send you an invite. I had to mute you. Literally, you just ran. He kicked him. I didn't kick anybody. Hands wasn't on there. But how about this? I'm gonna mute you. Hassad Dam. I don't know what your name is. Sure. I'm sending you a request. You said I kicked him. I didn't kick shit. Like if I would have kicked him, then you would have heard the magic. Anyway, I sent you a request. Get up here, coward. You come defend his point then. W's in the chat for Jana for the $5 donation saying, morning, friend. Thank you for what you're doing and sticking up for us. Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. W's in the chat for Angie for the $10 donation saying, keep up the good work. MGT said yesterday, MAGA was a lie. Like we've been saying that. I'm not going to give MTG too much credit because like we've already, clocked it. But W's in chat. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Lewis for the $1.99 super chat. Didn't send a message, just some love. Thank you. W's in chat for Lewis for the $1.99 super chat who said, bro, don't come after cheese puffs. I know, I'm not. W's in chat for Beyond for the $2 super chat to say, love your fight for the future and facts. Absolutely. I appreciate you so much, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Again, guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. Has and whatever. Like I'm sending you an invite again. Why are you sitting in the? You're sitting in the. Like I literally muted you, and now you can't do anything except sit outside of the club. Get up here. Come up here and talk to me, Bub. I can see you rejecting the invite. Why are you rejecting the invite? If you said, "Oh, sorry, didn't mean to invite this person," I sent. Wait, I'm sending you an invite. Did he? Oh, he left. Him left. You were popping all that shit just a moment ago, but for some reason you get scared when I send you an invite, and you would rather run out of the entire live than get in the box. W's in chat for Dragon for the $1 donation saying they're really trying you during Black History Month. They are. Like, you know what? Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. Oh, he's back. He swiped out completely. I sent you another one. Gotcha. Go ahead and accept that invite. Don't do that. Get up here. He's not going to accept it. He's not going to accept it. It's all good. Anyway, guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Also, can we knock out the finger hearts? Please, 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 please. Can we knock out the finger hearts? Guys, I'm only looking for some debates. So if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. I have figured it out. This is how we fix the country. We have to dismantle the patriarchy. And what I was saying about dismantling the patriarchy directly relates to where we are with the Epstein files. And the thing that I've noticed, right, because there's a lot of people saying like, ooh, there's people on the left in the file. There's people on the right in the files. There's billionaires in the files, and there's rappers, and there's like all of these different people. That's fine. That's fine, right? The one thing that I've noticed is the overwhelming amount of harm that is perpetuated from the Epstein files. It comes from men. Overwhelmingly white men, but men, right? I'm not exalting women because they're in the files as well. But the overwhelming amount of harm being perpetuated by the people in the Epstein files are men, specifically white men. So the point that I'm trying to get across with this is dismantling the patriarchy. It's needed because these people are the ones that are actually holding up any type of accountability for people who have victimized children. That's the whole thing. Jake, how do you join the debate? Don't worry about it. I got you. I just sent you a request. Just sent you a request. That's how you join. But the point that I'm getting across is that it's men overwhelmingly, even more of a great reason why we need to do this. Jake, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not really sure if I disagree. I actually am looking for information if you would enlighten me. I voted for Trump the first 2 times. And then I actually sent a super chat last night in Dean's live. I was Jacob in there that sent the super chat. And I learned how to read and research for myself and, actually look for the truth. Thank God for my wife to help me with that and people like you and Dean. I am a white male born in the Bible Belt South. I don't know how I feel about the reparations period. I guess, could you explain your stance on it and justification of why you believe it should be a thing?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So as far as reparations for non-white people, my premise is based off of the amount of harm that's been perpetuated by the United States of America to not only Black people. And that's why I make sure to call out the fact that it's for non-white people, but it's been harm perpetuated onto multiple people, right? And it starts with the original crime of the colonizers that came to Turtle Island. Do you know what Turtle Island is?
No, I do not.
Okay. Turtle Island was what the indigenous people called the Americas, right? And so when they came to Turtle Island, they killed so many indigenous people that it changed the temperature of the earth. It cooled the temperature of the earth. That's how many indigenous people they killed, right? And so when they did that, they took the land and they built this country on stolen land, right? And ever since then, even the crumbs that indigenous people have been given, it pales into comparison to the harm that they were caused by this country and by the colonizers, right? So you can talk about some of the tax breaks that they get. You can talk about the little bit of land with the reservations they get. You can also talk about some of them average about $1,000 a month from the federal government, but none of that compares to the amount of harm that's been perpetuated on these indigenous people. 1 second, sorry. Hey, Dirk. I'm just going to go ahead and mute you because you're not coming up. I also don't care what you have to say. But the point being is that was the first part. But then you talk about the way that Black people were stolen from Africa. They were brought to the United States. They were forced to actually work for free and build this country. And then when they got to the point where they could no longer go to Africa and steal people, they created breeding farms where they actually bred Black people to go into slavery, like literally bred them specifically to make more slaves when they couldn't steal slaves. And after that, after black people
couldn't afford them, so they just made them for themselves.
No. It's not that they couldn't afford them. Chattel slavery was outlawed on a global level. And then the African areas where they were stealing people had the ability to start fighting back. And so they couldn't go steal them anymore.
Okay.
Right. And so that's the whole thing. Live, laugh, love. You said conquer land. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Come up here and tell me about the whole land being conquered, bub. Don't worry about it. I got you. Now, the point that I'm making is that from there, right, they actually overwhelmingly harm black people through like Reconstruction, segregation, Jim Crow, black codes, like all of this other stuff. But then you can even fast forward that to today and the harm that's being perpetuated on black and brown people through the efforts of ICE, right? And so when you talk about the reparations for non-black people, it's based in the premise that so many different groups have been disenfranchised and overwhelmingly harmed by the United States of America and what this country has done and how they've exploited these different people, these different groups. They've stole their resources, their intellectual property, their lives. And the premise that I have as far as like reparations, it's based off of four things. These are the starting points. Right? These four things are the starters. I'm not saying this is the whole thing, but all four of these have to be included. And then we can talk about everything else. One, money, period. Like there has to be an actual financial compensation portion. Number two, free education as far as access to higher education. Number three, tax breaks and incentives. And number four, it has to be property, land. Thank you so much for Dinosaur Cat. Some type of property and land. Those are the four things that are the starting point for my premise as far as like reparations. And we can get into like how those things are paid and blah, 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 blah. But I wanted to give you a moment to tell me what you think.
No, I appreciate you bringing it down because I've always heard the whole the claim of, oh, we need reparations, we need reparations. Well, nobody ever wants to talk about what it looks like, what that actually would compose of. If it's just simply, hey, every year we're going to write you a check for X amount of money, because as a former magtard, as I like to call it.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Anytime you put that last portion on that.
Excuse me, I apologize.
Yeah, it's a variation of the
a former moron. How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
As someone that was,
be careful with your words. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. As someone that wasn't informed, anytime you hear reparations, it was okay. Why are you getting an advantage? But when I finally, took a step back and said, okay, I need to look at it from somebody else's point of view, it starts making more sense. So I'm not trying to argue or trying to do anything. I'm trying to learn because some of it just did not make sense to me, and nobody ever wants to explain it and go into detail. Yeah. And people in the chat, they're saying advantage.
Well, and I was just going to address that next as well. But listen, the one thing that I will say is a lot of people don't understand what the premise as far as like reparations look like and how that breaks down and who gets it and like all this other stuff. I think, again, this is something that has to boil up, and it has to be like my idea. This is based off of like a starting point. I'm not saying this is like the full cake built, but this is me laying out some of the ingredients and saying like, hey, we got the potential to make a cake. Anybody know how to make a cake? Anybody else got anything that we need to put into this cake? Am I missing something? And then we'll go from there. But the one thing that I try to push back on, and a lot of people don't understand because they think that reparations for certain people or whatever is taking away from others, or they often tend to say like, why should I have to or why should you get reparations when you weren't the one that's harmed? Now we can go into the actual harm that persists today due to the actions that I spoke on when it comes to like indigenous people or black people, the systems that continue to actually harm those people, the long-term effects, whether it's genetically or mentally. Like there's generational trauma that has been passed down through these people, and this still persists today because of what our ancestors went through. So all of those things are actual things that can be scientifically tracked, right? But the point that I want to get across more than anything is it's not about giving someone else an advantage. It's about equity. It's about making people whole for the things that were taken away from them. Think about this. Black people, for about 400 some odd years, were made to work for free, right? Literally for free. And then after that, after we took our freedom, ever since that point, since we were no longer slaves working for free, Black people have been deemed as being lazy, right? And that's a problem. As soon as the country could no longer use us for free labor, we have then been deemed as being lazy, right? That's the trope that is attached to Black people. The issue is that even after slavery was ended, Black people were not automatically equals. Black people didn't have the same level of access, equity, hell. Even to today, Black people are disenfranchised in multiple ways. Do you know what redlining is?
No, I do not.
Okay. So redlining is a practice where financial institutions, banks specifically, they gauge their lendatory practice on like race, right? They literally discriminate against people based off of race. So you and I can go into a bank and apply for a home loan, right? And they want to keep certain areas white instead of actually allowing non-white people to enter the area. And so you and I can go into an actual bank and say, hey, we would like to get a loan. And you and I have the same education background. You and I have the same credit score. You and I have the same amount of money for the deposit. Everything is equal. The only difference between me and you is that I'm Black and you're white. And what redlining lends itself to is that banks will say, you know what, even though all things are equal, the reason why I'm going to give this loan, they don't tell people that, but they say the reason why I'm going to give this person the loan is because this person is white and this person is Black. Now, that's a simplification of it, but there's other instances where white people receive these types of loans and all this other stuff where they are not as qualified as these Black people, but they're still white. And so they get it, right?
And that lumps into the whole concept of white privilege. I'm assuming, is that what you're...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. That's something there as well.
And that's as a former Trump supporter, a lot of people in the chat are asking if I support Trump. I do not, but I'm still in that Bible Belt South and trying to get out of that mindset of not being educated and not being informed, I guess is the better word. And so, and that was the advantage. I couldn't remember the term at the moment, but white privilege is making sense. And once I finally started to accept that there is white privilege, that I do have a natural advantage just from being a white guy, other stuff starts falling in line and makes sense. So I'll
tell you this, one thing to keep in mind when it comes to white privilege, and anyone who like pushes back on the premise of having white privilege that says, oh, I don't have white privilege or whatever. One thing that I always tell people is white privilege is white privilege is not realizing that you have white privilege. Like that's literally white privilege. When you can sit there and say, oh, I don't have white privilege, that's literally white privilege because it's something that you don't have to think about. It's something that you don't even have to actively engage in. You just get it because you're white, right? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But question for you.
Go ahead.
Back to redlining. If you had to guess, when do you think, because redlining, again, it's an actual system of racism that it looks to keep people segregated and to keep certain areas white and all this other stuff. When do you think the last time a major national bank was successfully sued for redlining?
As embarrassing as it is to say, I'd think it's probably pretty damn recent.
2025. 2024, 2025, some of the largest banks within our country, including like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Navy Federal Credit Union, all of them have been successfully sued for redlining, right? And you can talk about like lower level banks as well. They all participate in it. The actual system of redlining is alive and well today. There's also a study that was completed. If you have time, you want to take a look at it. There was a study completed by Citibank Group, where they completed a study and they did a comprehensive look as far as the implications of racism and the financial impacts that it's had on the United States of America. And the United States of America has lost out on $16 trillion, with a T, $16 trillion due to racism. the fact is that the country has made an active decision that they would rather engage in racism than capitalism.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, but that's America. But to round it back around to the point as far as non-white reparations, the point that I'm trying to get across as far as like a non-white reparations, it's the system of making those people who have been overwhelmingly harmed whole. And I think the problem that a lot of people don't understand is giving reparations to these non-white people that have been harmed is beneficial to everyone, not just them, right? And the reason why I say that is because once you actually engage in these forms of reparation, at least the four that I've spoken of, it's a tide to lift all boats, because you, with this influx of money, influx of land, influx of tax breaks, influx of property, these people are going to become more active and participating members of society. That's going to actually boost up the rest of the country. And so by proxy, you're going to see the rest of the areas starting to benefit from that, right? One of the reasons why I think like Donald Trump going after these Haitian immigrants in Springfield, Ohio is so crazy is because they're literally the people that saved a dying city, right? The people were leaving Springfield, Ohio. No one wanted to work. And the TPS status that was provided by these Haitian peoples, that for them to come in, they were able to fill the jobs that people wouldn't fill. And they also started new business. They started spending money in the area. They actually revamped the entire economy. And so that's why the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, and even the governor, they pushed back so hard, even though they're Republicans, they pushed back so hard on Donald Trump and saying like, oh, you know, they're eating the cats and dogs. And they said, no, these are just good people within our community. It's because they saw their area dying and they saw these people come into the area and put in like new life into the economy and literally save their area. But the point that I'm getting across is once you actually give these people that have been disenfranchised the opportunity to change their social economic status, and by proxy, it's going to change the social economic status of a lot of people in that area, even the people that don't benefit directly from it.
Makes a lot of sense. I appreciate you taking the time and breaking that down for me. Last thing I'll say is this. Like I said before, as somebody that was oblivious to the truth in politics and looking at both sides, because that's especially being a maggot growing up, I only listened to Fox News, and marrying a woman that was very opinionated and very willing to look at me in the face and say, I'm absolutely not voting for him. Mm-hmm. And at first I fought it, but thank God for her. She educated me and showed me people like yourself and helped me to look at both sides and determine for myself what right and wrong is. The next best thing I did was I joined the military 6 years ago. I'm almost done with my contract, but that opened my eyes also. Now, I do not support the sec war, whatever he wants to call himself. What he's doing is atrocious, in my opinion. But the best thing I did was meet people from other religions, other walks of life, other places around the world, and listen. If we would just learn to shut up and listen, it helps.
I'll say this because I always say women are better angels, right? I know my wife is she's a way better person than I could ever hope to be. And I'm not just saying that because like she's the most wonderful person on earth. She is, but like legitimately in every single way, she's a better person than I could ever be. And I think that a lot of men, we have such an inflated ego of self. We have an inability to actually see when anyone could possibly be better than us in any way, shape, or form. And we take that as a challenge and we push back on it. But embracing the not only like women, but just people who can make us better in other ways, I think that's so important. And people say like, oh, how can you do this? How can you talk to these people or whatever? You mentioned being from the Bible Belt, like literally.
Amen, Becky. I don't blame you for saying that. Amen.
Yeah. I'm from South Carolina, right? Born and raised. Hey, thank you. I'm born and raised in South Carolina. And I grew up with plenty of people who are Republicans, plenty of people who made a conscious decision to actually vote for Donald Trump. Like I was in South Carolina at the hype of the quote unquote Trump train when it was starting. And so like some people that I looked at as friends immediately hopped on and they couldn't figure out like the disconnect or whatever. So being able to actually talk to people who used to support Trump or still support Trump or whatever, like I know how to do that because, I mean, we're all people, right? I think that's the missing piece. And now the difference comes in with when it's people like you that's willing to actually be receptive or think and all this other stuff versus people who just lean into it. And no matter what you say, like it's their personality and they refuse to engage in anything that is not positive.
Yeah, it did cost me my family. I can't tell you the last time I've spoken to my family that lives 10 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, my wife became number one when I got married. She didn't come alongside my marriage or come alongside my family. She became the focus, and that's what it takes. And so, like I said, I'll turn loose now because I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I appreciate you taking the time to educate not only me but people out there that are probably trolling but need to learn to listen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you. Deb's in the chat. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. W's in the chat for Lon, who sent a $10 super chat to say, I used to call myself FBA, but now, but not gonna lie, I'm assuming that's what it stands for, has become uncomfortable with the way that they talk about American black folks and black folks, other countries. That dude was only repeating Tariq Nasheed. I don't know who that is, talking points. A lot of times that's what they do. Like in general, people that believe or hold those type of perspectives, they're not seeking like new understanding or trying to verify or gain information themselves. They just want to repeat the same things that they've already said. So like that's where that lies. W's in the chat for Lon, who sent another $10 super chat to say, I thought FBA was a good thing, but it's too extreme. My first post was full of errors. My apologies. No, you're good. I understood. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Joe for the $20 donation, saying, sending love from Jersey. Keep having hard conversations, Santana. Absolutely. You know I will, Joe. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. Hi, young bruv. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Young bruv, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Okay, I'm gonna drop you down. Hey guys, if you don't mind, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. Also, hit that follow button. If you look up at the top and you see the word follow and you're not following me, hit that follow button. We are on our way to 100,000 followers. 100,000 followers. We are so very close to getting to where we want to be. So make sure you actually hit that follow button. Turn on notifications. I know notifications for some reason have been going off for people. So make sure you check your notifications. If you see a gray heart, that means you haven't sent your daily heart me. Send that daily heart me, but you have to go back in and claim it and turn on your notifications. Carl, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Carl, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Trump supporter. Yeah, you disagree with something on the background, or a combination?
Kind of a combination.
Okay.
Yeah, right, I don't like love Trump, but I mean, we're kind of like stuck in that paradigm. Like you have to support one side or the other. You know, I didn't vote for him, but I cannot vote for a Democrat. I can tell you that.
Okay. All right. So let's get a little bit further into it. Which point on the background do you disagree with the most that you think you can actually defend?
Probably just abolish ICE. Like,
okay.
You know, like the other thing would be the non-white reparations. I feel like that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Okay. Let's start with abolish ICE. Tell me why you disagree with the premise of abolishing ICE.
Well, I mean, just if you have like disagreements with how they do their, you know, law enforcement, that's totally fine. But getting rid of them doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because people that come here illegally have the opportunity to leave with, you know, they would even get paid a free flight, you know? So it's like, you know, like my girlfriend knows this chick who like started dating an illegal, had a kid.
Undocumented immigrants, not illegal.
Yeah. Okay. No, just an illegal alien. That's what I mean. That's how they're described. But,
Yeah, I know that's.
I don't mean anything derogatory.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Okay.
It's the term that's listed, but on my platform, we say undocumented immigrants because what happens is when you start to classify them as illegals or illegal aliens, it's dehumanizing terminology that's used to separate them from their humanity, and we never want to do that.
That's a kind of an odd opinion. I don't think that way at all about it.
No, you don't have to think that way. It's more so the reason why I say that, and the reason why I make sure that people know that is because it's intentionally done by certain people to be unintentional, or it's intentionally done to be subliminal for other people. So if you're someone who doesn't realize it or think of it,
that, but that is still just your opinion.
Okay. Well, it's also on my platform. So anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do as you please. That's fine. But yeah, my girlfriend's friend, like this chick had a baby with this man, and I think he decided to self-deport in a weird way. Like he swam back. Like he swam here and then he decided to swim back, right? So now this chick's going after her man, and long story short, she's like stuck in Mexico now. And and by the way, this lady was not living in good conditions here because she had to stay home with the kid that she had with this man. And he was not making a lot of money. Their living conditions were horrible. I went over there, I believe it was twice. And I just felt so bad for this person that fell in love with this man, and he couldn't truly support them. And he was very fearful of being deported and everything. So that's why he went back. But, it's not like he's a bad person. But the conditions that he was forced to live in because he was undocumented was not fair to, his lady or his child that he had. Their conditions were bad, man. Okay,
but Carl, can you help me understand, and I've been trying to let you go thinking that you're going to somehow connect it. Can you help me understand how your anecdotal story actually connects to why we shouldn't abolish ICE?
Because these people shouldn't be allowed to stay here living as second-class citizens.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they make them first-class citizens.
Well, yeah, but I don't think we should reward people who broke the laws to come here. I'm all for making
the person who broke the law and gave him the office of the presidency.
Sorry, what did you say?
We rewarded the person that broke the law and gave them the office of the presidency.
So, yeah, that's absolutely absurd. But anyway,
Donald Trump's a 34-count felon.
Why do you want to change the subject?
I'm not changing the subject. I'm just saying there's an actual form of logic.
Do you want to talk about undocumented immigrants, or do you want to talk about the president?
A combination. The point that I'm trying to make is that I'm highlighting the absurdity in your view. I'm not trying to change the subject. I'm just saying
you definitely did that.
Well, no, okay, that's fine. Listen to me for a second, Carl. The point that I'm calling out is the fact that you're hypocritical in your stance, because if you believe that, and then you would believe that in all aspects, not just in this one aspect. So you hold this standard for one aspect, but you don't hold this standard for the other aspect. That's all.
You don't know. You don't know my opinion, actually.
You said that you support Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, so then again, you're literally sitting here saying we shouldn't. Well, I said let's give them access to becoming citizens, and then you said, well, you don't want to reward people who broke the law, but yet you're willing to reward someone who broke the law in the sense of Donald Trump.
We're not making Trump a citizen. He's allowed to be a president.
You're right. We made him the fucking president of the country, which is much more. Yeah, which is much more. Which is much more than the actual giving someone an actual citizenship. The point that, listen, I'm not even trying to get into whether you believe it or you don't believe it or whatever. The point that I'm trying to do is calling out that you're a hypocrite in your stance because you don't hold the same premise across the board. You just hold the premise in this one standard
it's completely
and not
different.
In the other. It's not.
He could be held accountable. Okay, do you want to hear why? These are just your talking points, and I'd love to explain my opinion.
You can explain your opinion. You haven't given me any facts yet.
Trump can be held accountable and still be president.
I didn't say that he could.
He's not. Dude, when did I say he deported because he did
did I say shit about deporting Trump?
No, but that's why it isn't comparable.
No, it's comparable.
Hold on.
You don't get my point.
Okay.
Repeat to me my point.
Dude, he's held accountable.
That's fine.
For his crimes.
That's fine. Repeat to me my point.
What you're saying, that it's a double standard, right?
Why?
Because I'm saying that Trump shouldn't be elected, or that's what you're saying, that he shouldn't be elected because of his.
That's
I
not
didn't
the
vote
point.
for him, bro. So I don't. It literally doesn't matter. You're talking about Trump now when you wanted to understand like why we shouldn't abolish ICE. It has nothing to do.
Well,
with
one, you still haven't talked about abolishing ICE, but two, you made the statement, and I'm showing you that you have a flaw in your actual logic. You don't hold the same premise across the board. I'm calling you a hypocrite because you don't hold the same. Okay, cool. I'll explain it one more time. When you talked about undocumented immigrants, you said that they shouldn't be here as second-class citizens. I agree with you. I said, hey, let's make them citizens, right? Because I don't think they should be second-class citizens. But your reply was, no, we shouldn't reward them for breaking the law.
Yes.
And so then the point that, I'm sorry, 1 second, Carl. Hey, guys, just an FYI chat. We do not use the term SLOW here in our comments. Do not do that. That's ableist, and we do not do that. So if you're engaging in that, stop it right now. Be better. And if you can't, my mods will mute you and they'll put you in timeout for a while. And for some reason, if you think that you still want to engage with that, then you can just be blocked and go. We do not play those games here in our comment. So please, please, please understand that's ableist terminology and it will not happen in the comments. Sorry, Carl. The point that I'm trying to get across is that you're sitting here saying that the people shouldn't be rewarded for being criminals by getting access to becoming citizens, but you're okay.
Yeah, because that's the exact crime that they committed, was coming here illegally.
Sure,
so
that's fine. It's a misdemeanor. Illegally? It's literally a misdemeanor. And this is again, this is why I'm saying you're a hypocrite. Just listen to the final version of what I'm saying. You keep interrupting and you're just not getting it.
No, I'm waiting. It's okay.
Sure. So you're saying that we shouldn't reward these undocumented immigrants who are coming here because they committed a crime. And so you're saying they shouldn't have citizenship because they committed this crime. But in the same sense, you are saying that you are good with the person committing 34 felonies, getting rewarded with the highest honor in our country, which is the ability to be the president of the United States of America. You have no pushback on a criminal having the office of the presidency, but you do have pushback for a criminal having citizenship within our country. Those two things contradict each other. It's not about the fact that we're talking about citizenship. It's about the fact that you don't hold criminals to the same standard. It depends on whether they're your criminals or not your criminals. That's your litmus test.
No. So why couldn't Trump be president if he was a felon?
I didn't say that he couldn't. I'm saying that you don't care about criminals. That is the logical
conclusion. It has nothing to do with what I think or not. So you just keep putting words in my mouth saying I have the double standard.
You're not
the legal system has the double
listening.
standard. So
You're not
take that up the legal system.
You're not listening.
I think you're crashing out because you know I'm correct.
Either you're being disingenuous or you just don't understand. Let me try it one more time.
I don't think you understand. But go ahead.
I do. Like I'm literally the one explaining this to you. You keep trying to interrupt because you think that you know, but you have no fucking clue. So I'm going to break this down Barney style for you, right? Right here, brown criminal. Brown criminal do crime. Brown criminal no get good stuff. Right here, orange criminal. Orange criminal do crime. Orange criminal get good stuff. Carl say no to brown criminal. Carl say yes to orange criminal. Carl no treat criminals brown versus orange the same.
What does it have to do with me?
It's your standard, bub. It's your standard.
It's not my standard. No, it's not.
You said that you support him for being the president, but you don't support them for getting
I support his actions. Right now, when it comes to immigration, I support his actions.
Oh my God, that's fine.
But you're saying that he's not allowed to be president. It's my standard, right?
When did I say he's not allowed?
No,
when did I say he's not allowed? When did I say he's not allowed?
Dude, you're saying it's my standard.
I'm saying that you don't hold Donald Trump to the same standard that you hold undocumented immigrants.
Dude, because he's not an undocumented immigrant. Like, it doesn't
matter. He's still a criminal. I'm not talking about their status. I'm talking about them being criminals.
Sure. Technically.
What do you mean technically?
Yeah, dude, he was convicted of some felony charges. Yeah, they were upgraded, from misdemeanors.
Yeah, he's a felony. Again, now you're showing. Now, listen, this is what it is. You're actually showing the reason why you don't hold the same standard. It's because this is your criminal. It's because Donald Trump is your criminal. You don't really give a shit because Donald Trump committed a felony. No, he's not my criminal.
Yeah,
he's your criminal. He's my president. He's your criminal. There's a fucking difference. I think he's your criminal. Are sitting here saying that, they were.
I didn't vote for him. He talked about it all the time. So
yeah,
seems like he's your criminal.
Stop it. Stop it. Just fucking stop it. You're hypocritical, and I don't even care anymore. At this point, I'm just calling it out to my chat. I'm just calling it out to my chat, so my chat understands like what the fuck is happening. And so just making sure that they have the lens of looking through this moving forward. Shut up, Carl. They have this lens that they're looking through moving forward, understanding that anything that Carl says, he's just being a hypocrite. So that's it. Perfect. Now, Carl, you still have not made the case of why ICE should not be abolished. You have only spoken in anecdotal situations. You've only talked about a friend that swam back, you didn't say the right word, anyway, to their other country. Like, can you give me the premise as far as why ICE should not be abolished?
Yeah, so like I said, anyone who isn't here legally should be deported. And if you abolish ICE, who's going to do it?
We were deporting people before ICE. We were deporting people before ICE. Also, don't say the D and B word on my live. ICE. How long has ICE been around?
All right, this is pointless, man.
Sure. Okay, then run, you baby, run, you snowflake. You do. They do that every time. They're fucking snowflakes. You have no argument, and so you sit here and you talk. He was up here for what, 15, 20 minutes? And the most that I got out of him was that he knows this quote unquote chick that got pregnant by an undocumented immigrant. And now she's in the country trying to get him to take care of the kid. You guys have no facts, information. You only have like the fucking feelings in your stomach. Democrats are freaking out because Trump got all the fake ballots. You meant ballots, Bob. Ballots, not pallets, you idiot. I'm going to send you a request. Come up here and tell me about it. He got all the fake ballots. He literally lost the 2020 election and he's still whining like a fucking baby about it. Exactly. You're not coming up here. The point that I'm getting to is like, they're so upset that they don't know shit. And what it really is they're so mad that people are making them take their mask off. They're so mad that people are making them take their mask off. They're so upset that I won't let them do their shit without saying it with their chest. That's the problem. They're mad because I won't let them engage in racism, bigotry, xenophobia with the veil or coverage that they wish that they could have. I'm not going to let you do it. I'm not going to let you do it. I'm going to call you out on it every single time. Not going to do it. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I don't really love Trump, but I disagree with a couple things on the background.
Okay, sure. What do you disagree with the most that you want to start with?
So it actually kind of ties into the previous guy's conversation, but I want to be a little bit more realistic.
Sure.
So you were kind of saying to him, like he was kind of being hypocritical, right? To say, if they come over here undocumented, they're criminals and then they should be in jail. But like, how are you going to let the president, he's the president, he doesn't have to go to jail.
Well, just to clarify, he was saying that because he was saying the reason why we shouldn't abolish ICE is because undocumented immigrants shouldn't be here and they shouldn't be here because they're second-class citizens. This is what he said. And I said, okay, well, if they're second-class citizens, then make them full citizens, right? And his premise was, well, we can't reward people who break the law. And my point to that was, well, you don't hold that actual stance because you only believe that in the instance of undocumented immigrants, while you support Donald Trump and he broke the law and he was rewarded with becoming the president of the United States. So that's how all of that came to the point of that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right on that. But like, so now in my scenario, I think they both should be in jail. Like, I think Trump probably should not be in office. But then I also think these immigrants broke the law as well. So like, what is your response to someone that thinks that?
I can agree with it, right?
Okay.
I mean, I don't agree with your point, but I can agree with your premise because you're logically consistent. Like, I don't have an issue with someone holding the same views across the board. I just have an issue with people who only have these views when it comes to the opposite side, but not the views when it comes to their side. And so if you think that like criminals shouldn't be rewarded, okay, like you can take that stance and I'm willing to hear you out. I don't deal with like people who only like have that position because this is like their criminal or whatever. So.
Then also, what do you mean by, can you elaborate on eat the rich? It's kind of vague, but I think I have an idea what you kind of mean by that.
Yeah. The point that really digs into like eat the rich is that the capitalistic society that we currently live in is one that's only beneficial to the ultra wealthy. And if we want to actually see any type of positive impact or change, then we need to shift from a capitalistic society to something that's more beneficial for everyday Americans. And even more so, in my personal opinion, I don't think billionaires should exist. But at the very least, I think we need to adjust how we do things, and so we can actually make the ultra wealthy and corporations pay their fair share, so we can actually advance society as a whole within our country with additional social safety nets and services such as universal health care and like a public option for higher education, just those type of things that other quote unquote developed nations have that we don't have.
I listen to your lives a lot, and I think you spread a lot of good stuff on here. I think yesterday you were talking with somebody about, and he was kind of talking about, the area that he lives in is maybe perceived as not the safest. Mm-hmm. And I think he was saying, sometimes white people are afraid to go live there. Do you remember the guy that you spoke to?
Yeah. He was talking about, he said, oh, white people don't want to come to the hood.
More or less. I
hate that for a couple of different reasons. More so.
I'm sorry.
I got it. So one of the reasons, sorry, I was reading a message. One of the reasons why I like push back on that is for a couple of reasons, because one, it's a fucking anecdotal story. And he was saying like, oh, my rent's $600. I don't give a fuck where you live in the United States. No one's rent is $600. But then also like the premise that people are just scared to live in certain neighborhoods. It's not about like, oh, we're scared to live in this neighborhood. I mean, like if the actual living standards aren't up to par, then that happens. But then when we talk about like gentrification, that's a whole different thing.
So I think one of the points you made with him, and I think you were kind of talking about, sometimes what if there's somebody that works at Walmart or something and, they don't have a livable wage, even the minimum wage to support their family. And then I think his response to you was kind of like, they need to level up themselves and get a better career and better job. And like, I think the way you went about it was kind of crazy, but I think there is some truth to it. Like, don't you believe that somebody, goes to school, gets maybe an MBA or something like that? I mean, you deserve to prosper more than someone has maybe a lower level job. And I don't want to say it's a less important job, but do you understand what I'm saying? Do you think there's any truth to that? Because it can't all be totally equal, right?
I hear what you're saying. When you say deserve, I disagree with that premise, but I mean, like, I hear what you're saying on its face. The issue that I have is if things were equal, right, and that was the case, then I would be willing to agree.
Tax time is upon us, so people will be able to get things that they want to splurge or spoil themselves. 9 times out of 10.
With Jeffrey Epstein, did you read what Jeffrey Epstein was doing? Did you notice that how many people in this administration are in the Epstein files? Yeah, I noticed that, but I'm not allowed to criticize them, so now I just care about the Quintons. Nobody cares, bud. They're doing their thing. We've said it a million times on this show. They should testify. They're going to. But if you can't hold that same standard for Donald Trump, for Peter Thiel, for Elon Musk, if you're not out there loudly shouting about them to come testify to, then everybody here knows you're just a dumb fuck. There's not a lot we can do about that. You're just a partisan, lead me by a collar dumb fuck. I only want to yell.
guy is. Yeah. And I don't like him sticking a camera on my face. I want to know what he was doing with it. I want to get the picture and I want to delete it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anyway, so basically what happens is there's an off-duty ICE agent. Somebody goes recording him. He assaults the person who's recording him, throws him to the ground, takes his phone, and now has been charged with battery, proving that it's actually possible for localities to bring these types of charges. And of course, DHS is like, no, actually, he's innocent. Basically, anytime DHS comes out with a statement, you can assume that the exact opposite of whatever DHS is saying is true. All right, moving on. Here's the newest lie from the Trump administration, which is one of the dumbest lies I've seen. I'm going to show you two clips. First, it's Senator Kennedy with his aw shucks attitude. Like, what do you go to Yale, Harvard, one of those Ivy League schools? Like, he's not this aw shucks Louisianian crawdad fisherman that he tries to pretend that he is. He's just lying now. They're all just openly lying. I don't get it. He's smarter than this. He's not dumb enough to say what he's about to say here.
And it's not enough to tell the American people not to believe their own lying checkbooks. Mm-hmm. They know about their personal finances. Is the president responsible for the remaining inflation? No, he helped get inflation down from 9% to roughly 3%.
All right, you can see here, and kudos to Don Winslow for adding this graphic in here. You can see this is all before Donald Trump is president. We got down, and he took over at 3%. He did not help get it down from 9% to 3%. It was 3% when he entered office.
But it's still not enough. And every waking hour in Congress, and I've told Senator Thune this, my good friend, should be spent on trying to figure out what ways to increase wages and reduce prices. And we can do it.
Are you worried about...
Oh, Santana's watching me on his channel. What's up, Santana? What's up, all Santana people? Good to see you.
And
why do you let them lie to you like that? Why do you let them just tell you like lies right to your goddamn faces? What's going on with that? Of course, he didn't bring it down from 9 to 3. It was 3 when he entered. It's about 3% now. He's basically done nothing. Let's move on though. They double up on they double down on that lie. There's a couple, is this the right one? Make sure, I think it's the right one. I think this has 2 stats in it, but here we go. Now we've got Bill Pulte, remember, from Pulte Homes here. Just one more lobbyist who works for the Trump administration and goes on TV and lies for him.
Issue. So I'm very confident if they handle the 10-year yield, we're going to start to see rates come down.
Yeah, but I mean, the yield on the 10-year is still right by 4.3%. I mean, it's up this morning almost 2 basis points. And you look at the 30-year fixed, the mortgage rate is sitting at 6.1% as of January 29th. That's up slightly from last week. So all of these efforts, and what do we have? We still have rates too elevated for customers to actually go out and take out a mortgage, buy a home.
Well, mortgage rates are down from when we announced it, first of all. And second of all is the reason rates are high, you can thank Jay Powell for that. That's why it's so important.
I mean, like even this part, they really think you're dumb. They really think you are so dumb. You can't blame Jay Powell for this. Jerome Powell doesn't set the rate by himself. Like there's a whole board. It's a board of economists. And Jerome Powell's an attorney. He's definitely not the one like making these decisions. There's a whole board dedicated to this, not just him, and they blame it on Jerome Powell. Why? Why do they do that? Because they know you're dumb, or that you don't care, or a combination of both. But they know that they can just point the finger at Jerome Powell and you'll buy it. You'll eat that up. Yeah, it is. It's definitely Jerome Powell. That's definitely the problem. There's not, I don't know a single like respected economist who says that we should be lowering rates right now. I don't know any. It's just Donald Trump and his cabinet. And what they're advocating for, by the way, is like it would be incredibly inflationary. The reason that they're holding these rates steady so that we don't have massive inflation, not so that we can't bring inflation down.
To get Kevin Warsh and Scott Besson and President Trump have gotten inflation down. You know, inflation under President Trump is now approximately 1%.
Huh? 1%?
Inflation down. You know, inflation under President Trump is now approximately 1%.
Where?
Rates should be 1%. So
2 lies. 1, it's not 1%. 2, the rate for the Fed, it doesn't go with the rate of inflation, right? Otherwise, the Fed rate would be lower, be like 2.8, 2.9, 3%, wherever we're at right now. This is absolute nonsense that it's Fox Business. It's not a serious administration. Like, we've entered and long surpassed Kim Jong-un. This is state-sponsored propaganda that is being funneled through Fox News. Everything this man is saying is a lie and not an ounce of pushback. We've never had an administration like this ever. We've had people lie. We've had people manipulate statistics, but these are just flat out lies. He brought the inflation from 9% to 3%. No, the fuck he didn't. Inflation's 1% now. No, the fuck it's not. What are we doing here, MAGA? What are we doing here? Where are you at, man-bag? I saw you talking shit earlier. Tell me where inflation's 1%. Trump says it's 1%. Pulte says it's 1%. I need a source for that, please, man-bag, before you get your 5-minute mute for not answering this. I'm going to be a dickhead today. A lot of complaining from MAGA. A lot of pointing fingers today from MAGA. Any of you guys going to answer for the fact that this guy's telling you that inflation's at 1%? Everybody tag man-bag till he opens his mouth. I need a source for that, please. By the good point. 1% wouldn't be good. That would be below what the Fed wants at 2%. Oh, did we get quiet now, sweetheart? We get quiet? Guys, everybody look at man-bag in the chat. Jay, you're being a woman. What, being smarter than you? Yeah, no shit. Just like every woman that exists. You're pointing at facts and data. You're being a woman. You know better. Hey, man-bag, suck my ass. Enjoy your time out. Mods, you can time them out for however long you want to. Cowardly, dumb bitches. That's what MAGA is. And that's the kind of attitude I've got today. I give a fuck about you guys today. I'm tired of you lying. I'm tired of you distracting. I'm tired of you never holding this.
Normally I'm rocking a hat, but today.
Left out your name. This ain't TikTok T. This a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled
like a glitch.
I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Then if you dare, truth hit hard like a punch in the air.
I feel so good. I feel, guys, the snowflakes are extra sensitive today. They are extra sensitive today. We have apparently made the snowflakes mad. W's in the chat for making the snowflakes mad. Oh, you don't even?
If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
No.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
You slip once, I'm snatching it all.
Yeah.
Step in if you dare. Get hard like a punch in the air.
Ain't
No rules, no plan, no script. Yeah.
One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Better know your stuff
for you.
Get revealed.
Step in, don't you wanna? Hey guys, tap the screen, share the live. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Send your daily heart me. It's only 1 coin. It'll boost the live. Dirk, I am absolutely blocking you. Thank you for coming back. Boom. Hey. Yeah.
Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame.
It absolutely is.
You wanna sparring with Santana.
Hold on. Guys, welcome back. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, the snowflakes are extra sensitive today. They can't stop us, though, because you know what? They may live in the bullshit realm that they like to actually deal in, but we do not. We do not. And not one snowflake is going to stop the show. It doesn't work that way, you cowards. The only way you can stop me is by getting in the box. The only way you can stop us is by getting in the box. So for all you cowards that think you can actually somehow stop what I have to say, you can't. You can't do it. I'm back. I'm still here. We're still here. Lock in, bub. Lock in. With that being said, if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, everyone keeps saying what happened. You know what happened. There's no need to even go into it. Like, let's move past it. I just need you guys to lock in with me, right? Tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 25,000 likes. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1-cent gift goals. Let's just make sure we're doing everything to protect the live, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm staying on top of the gift goal, and I'm going to keep making sure that we do all the things to protect the live. RC, you can leave. You're not coming up here. I don't, RC, like you've tried multiple times to be platformed in my live, and you will never get that. Never, ever, 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 ever. Never, ever, 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 ever. RC, you will never see the light of day on my platform. Absolutely not. That's weird. You're weird. We're not going to do that. Anywho, if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. If you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, we're only looking for some debates. Get in the box. I have figured out how to fix America. I have. The way we're going to fix this country is by dismantling the patriarchy. It's a must. We're going to abolish ICE. We're going to lock up the GOP. We're going to eat the rich. And we're going to give reparations to non-white people. I'm telling you, this is how we fix things. This is how we start to get the country to heal. They keep saying like, oh, we need to come together. Yeah, sure. This is how we come together. This is how we do it. We do these things, and then we can start to move in the right direction. But if you disagree, then get in the background. No, get in the box. Background, get in the box. Get in the box. We are only looking for some debates. Now, while we wait on them to get out of their fifis and get in the box, a couple of other quick things that I want to make sure that I talk about. Super interesting. Something super interesting that has happened. MAGA, you guys are officially in the FO portion. D-Lo, you said no request box. Yeah, TikTok is a little funny sometimes, and if you don't necessarily see, like if I don't have anyone up, then sometimes certain people can't see it. You can swipe in and swipe back out, and you should be able to actually see the request box. The question though, are you trying to actually get up here? Because if so, I can send you a request and you can actually get in the box. So just let me know, and I can definitely bring you up. But also again, you should be able to see like the pink and blue person down at the bottom. But if you don't see the pink and blue person down at the bottom, you can swipe in and swipe out and swipe back in, or you can just let me know and I'll try to pull you up. With that being said, MAGA is officially in the FAFO, right? And one thing that they are now whining and crying about is finding out that there is officially, they're screwed on the no tax on tips. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. They just, like, they jumped up and down, they screamed and they yelled, and they said, oh, Trump is doing such great things. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, right? That's what they said. But now they're coming to the realization that he lied. And it's so funny to actually hear them hit that realization. If you haven't heard that, don't worry, I got you. Let's take a quick listen. Let's take a quick listen.
What radical a black person I know.
Oh, wait.
What radical?
Not that one. Sorry. 1 second. Hold on. Dang it. Where is it? That wasn't it. Hold on. Sorry. I had a couple of things that I wanted you guys to listen to. Where is it? Cuckoo. Oh no, I know I saved that. Don't tell me I didn't save it, chat. Holy shit. Did I not save this? I hope I saved it. It was so awesome. Look at me. I was sitting there being petty and I forgot to save it because I was busy laughing. And so, all right. So we won't get to play that one. We won't get to hear that sound. It's okay. It's okay. I'm sorry. If I find it, then I will play that for sure. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let me see if I can find this real quick this way. Let me see if I can find it because it was so good. It was so good. If you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We're only looking for some debates. And guys, for the people coming back in here saying, what happened? What happened? What happened? Yeah, we're past it. We're here. Let's lock in, chat. Let's lock in. Let's focus on what we're doing right now. You guys are living in the past, baby. We're light years ahead. That's not coming up. All right, cool. Anyway, one other thing that I did want to play, and I kind of mentioned this before, but I think it's worth bringing back up, is the fact that Donald Trump is actively calling for an end to our democratic system, right? Donald Trump is literally advocating for an end to our democratic system, and he's doing so by saying that we don't need elections anymore. Or sorry, not saying that we don't need elections anymore, saying that the Republicans, they should be the ones that are actually running the elections. This is what he said.
Places, the Republic, and they vote illegally. And amazing that the Republicans aren't tougher on it. The Republicans should say, we want to take over. We should take over the voting in at least 15 places. The Republicans ought to nationalize the voting. And we have states that are so. That's exactly right.
So Donald Trump himself is now saying that there is a need for Republicans to take over the voting process. That's his stance, right? And I've said this before, like, this is the play, this is the move, this is how they try to, quote unquote, win the midterms. They know they can't actually win the midterms, and so they want to actually steal the midterms. That's the issue, right? That's how they get it done. That's how they do it. That's why they're actively doing things like raiding Fulton County, even though they couldn't get a warrant signed by a judge in Georgia. They had to go to Missouri. Even though they couldn't get the head of the FBI office in Georgia to actually do the raid, they had to grab another person to do it. They're still doing it. They're still doing it. They're trying to find a way. And that's what it boils down to. They don't have a clear pathway to victory. And so since they don't have a clear pathway to victory, then they're going to do the things that they have to do to stay in power. And the reason why they don't have a clear pathway to victory, well, it's because they've been wholly ineffective and divisive. This is something that I'll give you right here. This is super interesting to me, right? This is super interesting to me. You said Trump is using his Trump card. Oh, okay. Come up here and tell me about it. I'm going to mute you. Come up here and tell me about whatever this Trump card thing that you're saying. Wouldn't have stolen. Yeah, it would have. So these are polls that were completed. This is a Harvard poll that was completed, and the Harvard poll was completed in comparing Joe Biden and Donald Trump. This was on February 25th, 2025. I'm sorry, February 2025 versus January of 2026. And the question was, who does a better job as president, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? And this is the same poll, right? Harvard poll. Oh, okay. Yeah, can you unmute them? I'm sorry. This is the same poll. In February of 2005, Donald Trump was deemed to be a better president than Joe Biden at 58% to 42%, right? Fast forward to January, last month, of 2026, same Harvard poll, resubmitted it almost a year later. Question it, who's a better president, Joe Biden, Donald Trump? Joe Biden, 51%. Donald Trump, 49%. So not only did Joe Biden make up ground, he blew past Donald Trump as far as who's the better president by that same poll standard. Super interesting. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Disagree with something on the background. I'm just curious. Do you believe in the Constitution?
Believing in what way? Like, do I think it's real, like physically, or
no?
With
do you
I think
that
that
it's?
I'm just fucking with
the
you.
supreme law of the land?
Yeah. I think it is. When it comes to the Constitution, while I may have my issues with it, I do think that we need a new Constitution. It is at the moment the law of the land, and it's something that technically is supposed to be upheld.
Cool. Can you explain to me how many times America is mentioned in the Constitution?
Are you going to go to the whole point of like America versus the United States of America, or versus
Absolutely.
the United States? Okay, yeah, I don't want to do that. I have no
right, because you can't.
Well, no,
You'll
it's
lose.
because hold on, it's
You'll
because
lose, guaranteed.
Okay, that's fine. Listen, can you read what's on the background?
Yeah, that's why I came up. Fix America. The only time America was
Oh
a
my
country,
God, I don't fucking care. Bro, you came up here to whine about me saying America on the background instead of the United States. You understand we're creating a background. I only have a certain amount of space. Like you guys that do this, they come up here and be like, I don't agree with what you're saying because of how you word it. It's fucking bullet points. This is literally a headline grabber. Like this is short, like it's terminology used because I can't put every fucking thing on the background, because if I did, it would be paragraphs. Like you guys are so fucking irritating. Now, yes, it's the United States. Yes, we're not talking about America. Yes, we understand that it's treasonous for anyone to say that they're politicians of America and da 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 da. Yes, I know all this shit. I know Smokey. If you don't know Smokey, I know Smokey. Go talk to Smokey about that. Would you like to actually debate about something that's on the background that's not the fucking terminology used on a background on a TikTok live, but the substance of what's being said? Would you like to talk about that? I'll send you a request to come off mute.
Oh, you got to turn my microphone off because
I muted you because I don't give a shit
about
would you
America.
Like to, so you don't want to debate any of these points.
That's America, man.
Hey, Buttercup, I muted you again. Do you want to debate any of these points that are listed, or do you want to just bitch about me? Oh, sorry. Fuck.
There you go again with the mute button because you have
I muted
no
you for a
fucking
different
substance.
reason. I don't care. That's the second time I did that. Holy shit. It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. We literally just went through this yesterday, and I did that shit again. That is not okay. It is not okay. It is not okay. It's not fine. For people saying that it's okay or it's fine in the comments, it's not okay. It's not fine. I should not have said that. I fucked up and I did it yesterday. No matter how angry or how I start to flow, I cannot do that. That is not okay. That is not okay. In no way, shape, or form is that okay. Will not happen again. It's not about giving myself grace, and it's not about you guys saying like everything's okay. That's not cool. Should not have done that. That's completely on me. 100% take responsibility, and I will ensure that never happens again. There's no way that I can sit here and tell people that they can't engage in like ableism, they can't say slurs, they can't do this shit and that shit. And I'm sitting here slipping up and saying the B word. That like that's fucked up and that's not okay. And I can't do that. That's on me. That's literally on me. Literally on me. It's not okay. I love each and every one of you in the chat. I appreciate you guys trying to support me, but accountability is not saying like, oh, it's okay, you know, whatever. It's saying like, hey, you fucked up, own it. That's accountability, and we have to hold each other accountable, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. That was not cool. I'm sorry. Absolutely sorry to each and every person. I'm sorry. Okay. So would you like
So would
to
you like to
debate
talk
about something?
it,
I'm
or
still
would you like to
speaking.
argue?
Sure. So I muted you again because I need you to get this clear. So I don't care about actually talking about like the difference between the United States and America as far as the Constitution. Would you like to actually debate about anything on the background? If not, I'm just going to.
I would like to know why you hate America.
Because of people like you. Now, would you like to talk about the
Because
point
of
on the
people
background?
like me, because I
Would you
know
like
the
to talk about
Constitution.
would you like to talk about
Do you
the
know
point
where
on the
rights come
background?
from?
Okay. Go find someone else to have a constitutional debate with, and the terminology that's used as far as the United States versus America. You're weird. You're not going to make this live into whatever you wanted to make it into. I gave you a second chance. I told you can come back up and try it again. And you came back up and you did the same shit. I have no interest in that. Go cry somewhere else. Like, holy shit, go cry somewhere else. What are we doing? You guys are so weird. So weird. So weird. Go cry somewhere else. W's in chat for Damo for the $5 super chat to say this caller, talking about the early caller, this caller, yeah, we convinced some of the we convicted, yeah, he was convicted on some of the felonies or something. I don't know. He just doesn't like crime from who it's coming from. That's what I was saying. It's literally, let's say, you can stand the truth, Santana. You mean I can't stand the truth? Is that what you're trying to say? Sure, Sal, so I'm gonna mute you. Come up here and talk to me about the truth. How about that? Talk to me about the truth. W's in chat for Adamo. W's in the chat for Sean for the $5 super chat to say, dear fellow white people, at 12 steps of group, they say admitting there's a problem is the first step. Adults admit when they're wrong, fix it. I think that's fucking perfect timing for Sean because that super chat came in a while ago. But I think that it's perfect as far as like what we have to do. Can I send you a list of ideas? I'm on your side. Sure, absolutely. W's in chat for Heather for the $5 donation saying daily hugs. Don't let these people get you down. We're all in it with you. Yes. Listen, Heather, first and foremost, thank you so much. I appreciate the daily hugs. I need those. Even more so, like the one thing that I want to make sure that I am trying to do, because I would be like the biggest hypocrite in the world if I sat up here and I corrected people and tried to keep people away from like using harmful terminology and engaging in harmful things and doing harmful things. None comfy. Go cry somewhere else. I don't care. You go cry somewhere else. I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world if I actually did these things. And then at the same time, I'm sorry, if I said, hey, like right here, dismantle patriarchy. I can't sit here and say dismantle patriarchy and then be okay with the usage of the B word. So like, I can't do that. I have to hold myself to a higher standard. Thank you for the glasses, but thank you for the love and support, Heather. I really appreciate you. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Got to have a word to replace it. Yeah, I try to replace it with other stuff. That's why, like, I try not to name call too much because, yeah, sometimes I just get so like hyped up. That's why I try to keep myself centered, because when I like get going a million miles a minute, like I get into like the adrenaline starts pumping and I get like really into it. Then I just start letting things fly left and right, and I just can't do that. I have to be more decisive in how I do things. So, anywho, where was I going with this? Oh, hold on. Oh, he's not here. He left. Okay, he left. All right, never mind. I thought I had a treat for you guys, but he left. All right, we were talking about the actual premise that Joe Biden is now, you're boring him out. I don't know what you're talking about. Bobby, damn it, Bobby. No one cares what you're saying in the comments, Bobby. Get in the box, Bobby. I'm gonna mute you, Bobby. Come up here, Bobby. The point that I would, oh, Bobby got blocked. Joe Biden now, with the same poll that was completed by Harvard, has a 51 to 49% lead as far as being a better president than Donald Trump. It's literally me speaking to the change of the perspective of how people view Donald Trump now versus how they viewed him then. Hey, thank you for that. Jazzy, hi, Jazzy. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm not a Trump supporter, but I have a disagreement, I guess, with the background. I'm not quite sure. The non-white reparations, I visibly appear as white, but I have 3 different tribes of Native that make up like a high content of my bloodline. So I'm not
talking blood quantum?
Huh?
Are we talking blood quantum?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I
Blood quantum
misunderstood.
is super harmful. I don't like to speak on it, but from what I've been told from all the indigenous people that I know and that have educated me on this and what I've been able to find, like having the premise as far as blood quantum is super dangerous and it causes erasure. So the question that I have, and just to ensure that we're having the conversation from the sense that I'm having the conversation, are you connected?
I'm registered with my tribe.
Okay. Or do you have a ban?
No.
Okay. So what I will say is I will defer to indigenous people that are in the complete premise of like how the people are identified as being indigenous. That's, from my understanding, it's about people being connected and also having a ban, right? So the question I just got in on the back end is what tribe?
I'm Cherokee. That's the one that I'm registered with. But
Cherokee.
my father is registered with his Blackfoot.
Okay, it's always Cherokee. Yeah. So the one thing that I would always say, and so we can have this conversation around it. I'm not going to say like whether you or you would or would not, but we can talk about it in the sense of what I mean when I talk about non-white people and indigenous people. So even if you are like someone that presents, it's the same kind of sense that I have when it comes to people presenting as white, but they're like, oh, I'm Italian, or oh, I'm Irish. Yeah, you may be Italian or Irish, but you actually get the same types of protections as white people, right? One of the things that, even though like Italian people or Irish people absolutely endured hardships within our country, the symmetry breaker is they were able to trade in the hardships that they have for protections of white privilege, and that's why they get access now to white privilege. So like that would be another thing as well. But as far as indigenous people, I wouldn't be the person that's sitting here saying like this is or is not the bar for someone to be indigenous. I would just say that people that are classified as indigenous would get access to the reparations.
Oh, okay. Okay, that answers my, I guess, loss of connection with it.
Okay, awesome. Good question. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one. The one thing that I love to call out about, and this is the reason why I really, really love being kind of challenged on like the reparations for non-white people. It's because it's still so much that can actually be addressed when it comes to that. And there's things that I hadn't thought about that like I love kind of fleshing it out. That's why I always say like these points are starting points, right? It's not me sitting here saying like this is the end all be all. That's why even like when I talk about the 4 key components of reparations, I always say like this is where we start. And then everything else we build on that, right? That's how I view this, is like these are the 4 like non-negotiables, and then everything past that is what we go from. And there's been a couple of people that have challenged my school of thought and made me think like I hadn't thought about that. I need to answer for that. One thing was like how long is the time frame for this, right? And so, like, I think there's a lot to be said about that. But the thing that I want to make sure that I get across is like, this should be something that we absolutely dig into, and it's something that's absolutely needed. So, you know, thank you for coming up. I really, really appreciate, you know, challenging my thoughts on that one. W's in the chat for the one Pixie who sent a $2 donation saying you should do MAGAs be MUGAs. I don't know what that means. Make United States great again. Oh, for that last guy, he was so insufferable. Like, what the fuck are we doing? He was so insufferable. So insufferable. W's in the chat for Mike for the $2 donation saying this has been a weird stream. Hydrate King. Yep. I'm gonna have to drink some water and say something kind about myself. W's in the chat for JM, who sent a $5 donation saying from Pretty Pitch. We recognize your human. Pretty Pitch, thank you so much for the $5 donation and the kind words. I do too. I try to be better because, like, if I can't be, then who am I to actually say anyone else should be? So thank you for that. And I also, again, when I say that I have a responsibility to be a good steward of the platform that you guys give me, it's not just about like allocating money or resources, but like you guys, we're over 82,000 followers. And I keep saying this all the time. We're driving towards 100,000 followers. And the only way that we're going to get to 100,000 followers or more is by ensuring that I'm being a good steward of the time, energy, effort, and support that you guys give me. And if I'm not doing that, then like I don't deserve it. And so holding myself accountable and holding myself to these higher standards is something that comes along with ensuring that I'm being a good steward of the platform that you guys have given me. So W's in the chat for Jordan for the $15 donation saying, love listening to you every morning. Keep dog walking these fools. Oh, we do. We locked in. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation saying, keep your head up, brother. We're closer, getting close to the midterms, and they're more unhinged than these MAGA cultists. They're going to get, yeah, they are leaning into the shits. They're leaning into the shits. W's in chat for Miss Donna for the $5 super chat to say, accountability is everything. Just imagine if the right did it, we wouldn't be where we are. Kudos for being accountable, even though you did it. LOL. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am really, really, really trying to ensure that we do so. Jonathan, I see you in the request. Hang tight. Hang tight. I don't know how much time you have, but if we get a debate up here, I will let you come up. Just hang out in the request for me for a few minutes. Again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. I have figured out how we fix this country, and we fix the country by dismantling the patriarchy, abolishing ICE, locking up the GOP, eating the rich, and last but not least, non-white reparations. We have to do that. We have to do that. It's no ifs, ands, nor buts about it. If you're friendly, hey, thank you. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 60,000 likes. I'm sorry, not 60, 100,000 likes. Also, keep knocking out the daily gift goal, guys. We need to jump start the live to see if we can get some debates, because they're super sensitive today, in which I get it. I do agree that the closer that we get to the midterms, the more extreme they're going to become. They are actually engaging in what's called a extinction burst, right? And so we shouldn't be shocked about the things that are actually happening, the things that we are hearing, the way they continue to perpetuate harm, and the way that they actually provide coverage for Donald Trump and for those in his vicinity. Like, none of this should be shocking to us. And even more so, the one thing that I will say is that we have to use this to actually steel our spines, right? For lack of better words, we have to use the fact that they are starting to become like caged animals, like cornered animals, right? They're in the sense where they are wounded, and when an animal is wounded, they're the most dangerous. And that's the position that they're taking. That's the stance that they're taking. And we have to be aware of that and be prepared for that. And so we need everyone active, engaged, and pushing back in every single way. Every single way. One thing that I know for a fact that they're doing is starting to purge voter rolls. I've seen reports on that. So you have to check and ensure that your voter registration is up to date. They are absolutely doing that. So FYI. One other thing that I want to call out and talk about is, or a couple of things. One, Hillary and Bill Clinton, right? Donald Trump has been on this whole thing that Donald Trump actively said that the Justice Department should no longer talk or release any more information when it comes to the Epstein files, which is super interesting because even the additional 3 million files that were just released, that was released on the premise as far as, it's like 50% or something. Like it's not all the files that were released. It's not all the files that were released, but Donald Trump is now saying that the Justice Department needs to just give it up and say like, oh, we're not going to release any more of the actual files, right? And so since that's the premise, he no longer thinks there is a need to release more files. And I think that he thinks that there shouldn't be any more files released because, of course, he knows that there's still more really fucked up shit to be released. Second here, boom. Welcome back up. Got the fucking backup back. Welcome back. So Donald Trump is now saying that we should not actually release any more of the Epstein files, and the Justice Department should just say like, boom, that's enough, let it go, right? Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton have officially agreed to testify. One of the holdups that Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were engaging in was the fact that it seemed like it was a targeted attack on people on the right. And so they were saying until the files were released, they were no longer going to testify. And which one, I want them to testify because like if they're included in the way that they seem to be included and implicated, I want them held accountable. But even more so, like I get why they were saying that. They were literally saying that because they don't want it to be a situation where the people on the right, they're using the Clintons as coverage for all of the other people that are engaging in these harmful activities. We don't want to give them coverage. And now they have officially agreed that they will testify. And so then my question comes to the people that are on the right who are now saying, well, it's the Democrats, because that's what Donald Trump is saying. Donald Trump said that he literally said the Democrats are going to back off of this because more Democrats are now being implicated. They're stepping up. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they're stepping up and they're going to testify. So now what, Trump? Now what? How do you justify not doing the same thing? How do you justify in the same sense as a former president of the United States of America, Bill Clinton, saying, yes, I agree, I will testify, but you are saying that the Department of Justice should no longer release any more files? Like, I don't get how you hold that same type of principle. But it's because MAGA, it's because Trump supporters, it's because they have no consistency and they don't believe that the rules and the law apply to them. They think it just applies to others, but it does not apply to them. And that's the problem. That's literally the problem. The issue is they have no sense of accountability when it comes to anyone on their side, but all the accountability in the world for people that are quote unquote opposition. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, Trump supporter, disagree, or both?
Disagree.
Okay. What point on the background do you disagree with the most that you think you can defend?
Let's go up with non-white, but to go with what you were speaking on, I mean, why don't you talk about
just filling time? I would love to talk about any of the points on the background first.
Okay, you don't want to talk about how you think like immigration is just a big slave trade, like this conspiracy theory, like you're pushing.
Who said immigration
conspiracy theories to your followers? It's kind of, dude, get down. It's kind of gross.
Who said immigration is a slave trade?
You did.
When did I say immigration was a slave trade?
On Parker's Live.
What you obviously don't repeat to me what I said.
You said like these big companies are investing in the private prison system in other countries and specifically CCOT, I think you said. And you're like, they just want, you know, you were basically insinuating it was a big slave trade.
No, I didn't insinuate anything. I don't insinuate. I say everything with my chest. I got you. Don't worry about it. What I said was is that they're using ICE to detain undocumented immigrants to feed them into free slave labor and then deport them to concentration camps.
Yeah. So we're just in a big slave trade today in America.
I didn't say anything about a big slave trade. I said what I said.
I mean, that's technically what it would be, though, right?
No, it's not. It's literally not. It's about capitalism. It's about exploitation. Did you go back and look up who Core Civic is?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so then you bring nothing to the conversation.
It's the company that you were talking
I don't care. I don't care about what you assume. If you didn't go back and actually verify the things that I said and then come back to push back on the things that I said, then why should I actually give you any new information?
I mean, I just think it's fear mongering.
I don't care what you think. Prove me wrong.
I mean,
actually
I know
get the information.
It's
sure, then sure. Give me the.
Why don't you
information
talk
based
about
on
like
facts.
Myanmar or actual problems?
Can you actually prove to me what I said was wrong based off of facts? Am I wrong about anything that I said about Core Civic?
I mean, I believe you that they invested in the private prison sector.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fine. I know what you saying you believe. Can you prove to me that anything that I say about Core Civic is wrong?
Yeah, I believe that they aren't trying to just profit off of slave labor. I mean,
that's literally
if they are, it's not to the extent.
It's literally the core principle of what they do. Like that's one of their biggest investments is private.
That's their core principle.
Yes, they're heavily invested in the private prison system. So, like you saying that they don't want to profit off of private prisons, they literally have heavy investments in private prison. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, just it's not in the way that you're saying it. It's like you're saying they're targeting minorities. That's what you were trying to insinuate.
The point that I'm insinuating, for some reason, you keep saying I'll keep insinuating.
Because you weren't trying to go all conspiracy theory.
Listen to me for a second. Listen to me for a second.
Because you know that you're
Listen to me for a half a second. Sure. You don't know what communism is, and I'm also not a communist idiot. So, yeah, sure. The point that I'm trying to get across is I don't care about insinuations. I don't need to insinuate things. I just say the thing, right? I have no issue with saying the thing. And so if I believe a thing, then I say the thing. So I'm not insinuating anything. I'm telling you that Core Civic is literally profiting off of this. And not only are they profiting off of this, they have investors call. They had an investors call where they said this. This is not even me or my words. This is literally them saying the thing. Like, I'm so confused as far as why you're upset for me for calling out the fact that they're the ones that's saying this. Send your request to come off mute.
Damn. Well, it just seemed like you were trying to say ICE is, partnering with these private prison sectors to, target minorities to put them into free slave labor camps and concentration camps.
When did I say ICE is partnering with them? Did I say ICE is partnering with them, or did I say they're using ICE?
Oh, what's the difference?
Partnering would be that ICE is making a conscious decision to say, hey, I think this is a good idea. Let's do this. And then they're like, okay, let's do this together. No. What I'm saying is—
Well, you did by saying Trump was with them doing it, making these deals.
Not talking about Trump. You said ICE. ICE is different than Trump.
Well, ICE is in charge of Trump, or Trump is in charge of ICE now.
Holy fuck, you're not understanding anything. Cool. Don't worry about it. I'll explain the basis of what I'm saying. And you still haven't done any research, so you can't dispute anything that I've said. So this whole thing is very pointless, but I will break it down for you so you can understand at least the principles.
Go ahead. Fearmonger to your audience.
Hey, listen, either you're going to listen or not. Like, don't talk over me. Don't interrupt. Like, you're the one that's sitting up here and you're not engaging in the background. And now I'm repeating something that, one, you don't have any facts, information, or evidence about. Two, you heard what you wanted to hear. And the only reason I'm willing to actually entertain this is because I'm clearing up what I said. And number three, you won't be able to say anything in response besides, oh, I don't think so. I don't believe that. You're fear mongering because you haven't fucking researched anything that I've said. Now, the point that I'm getting across is that it is driven by capitalism, and the people that are the ultra wealthy that have investments are benefiting from this. And so they are using the premise of deportation and ICE as coverage to be able to enrich themselves even more. They had an investor call, specifically the CEO of CoreCivic, talking about how now they're connected into multiple levels of the deportation process. And the point that I'm getting across is just what they said on their investors call, which on their investor call, they said this is a golden age for them. Everything else is a byproduct. Everything else is a byproduct. The methods that they're using, the people that are connected, everything else is a byproduct. The point is, all of this is about money. It's not about deportation. It's not about American values. It's only about money. And that's why this is being driven so heavily. That's my argument. And that's my point.
All right. If you want me to come in with, facts and stuff, I understand. But we can go on to the reparations. Okay. Can I ask you a question? Do you think Jewish people are white?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Do you think that Jewish people think they are white?
Also, to be more clear, I think Jewish people can be white, but they're not white. I think Jewish people can be any race because Jewish isn't a race.
You don't think it's an ethnicity?
No, it's not. It's an ethno-religion. It has nothing to do with their actual race. Do you know what race is?
I mean, I would say it's a social construct.
Sure, more. What's race?
I mean, somebody's skin color.
No. Okay. The reason why you may think that, Jewish means white or not white or whatever is because you don't understand race, right? Yes, race is a social construct.
Jewish people don't believe they're white.
I don't care what they believe. We're talking about the actual socially acceptable construct that was created for the othering of non-white people to create a free or cheap labor class, right? Like literally, this was a social construct that was created by a white Portuguese man by the name of Gomez de Zurara to justify chattel slavery. It was literally justified by the Catholic Church. There were 2 papal bulls written that gave them permission to actually engage in chattel slavery. And the construct of race is something that upholds today. There's racial classifications, and Jewish is not one of the racial classifications, not one of the 5 racial classifications. So, and when people sit here and try to have this debate about whether Jewish people are white or not, they can be. They're not all white, but they can be white. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
I mean, I get it, but it's definitely an ethnicity. I mean, it's like definitionally.
It's an ethno.
If you look it up,
it's an
what does it say?
It's an ethno religion. Again, I don't really care about. I don't understand where you're trying to go.
You don't
with
really
this
care
because
about
Jewish
facts.
is not. No, you can't justify Jewish as being a race. Like I don't care what you're trying to do with the justification. It doesn't work that way. Black people are Jewish.
So did Holocaust reparations not work because they were white? Santana?
I don't know. I'm not talking about the fucking Holocaust reparations. I'm so confused as far as where you're trying to go.
It says non-white reparations.
Yes.
It's kind of a vague point.
It's not a vague. It's
so why didn't the reparations for the Holocaust survivors work?
We're not talking about the reparations for the Holocaust. Would you like to know the premise of what I'm saying, or do you want to just insinuate shit?
Well, it seems kind of important to bring up other reparations in point of your reparations.
The only thing that you're
never going to get.
Okay. The only thing that you've done from this point is say you disagree, and then you start with a bunch of random questions without 1, making your point, or 2, clarifying what my point is with this. So at this point, I'm going to say we need to do 1 of 2 things. Either you need to fully lay out why you disagree with the premise of non-white people getting reparations, or you need to say, hey, can you tell me why you're advocating for non-white people getting reparations? 1 or 2, I don't care.
Go ahead and tell me why.
Okay. So the reason why I say that non-white people should get reparations is because this country over the 250-year history has disenfranchised non-white people to massive levels, starting with indigenous people. When the colonizers came to Turtle Island, they killed so many indigenous people to the point that it cooled the temperature of the earth. and they have continued to disenfranchise indigenous people in multiple ways, and even when giving them a small piece of land for reservations, even when giving them certain tax breaks, even when giving them like $1,000 stipends or whatever, it does not equate to the amount of harm and destruction that they have caused indigenous people. We talk about Black people, we talk about the way that they literally went to Africa and stole Black people and brought them here and made them build this country and work for free in this country. And then finally, when Black people were able to free themselves, they then oppressed them through multiple ways during Reconstruction, segregation, Jim Crow, Black codes, all of this other stuff, to the point that they are still being overwhelmingly harmed today. And then you can even talk about the Black and brown people that are being disenfranchised currently through these deportation efforts with ICE, the way that they are over policing them and overactively harming them. My premise is this country has actively looked to harm non-white people in multiple ways. And the only way to create any type of equity is to reinvest in these people that have overwhelmingly been harmed through the actual actions of the United States of America, and making them not equal, but making them more equitable within our country as far as citizens.
All right. It's a pretty long ramble. So
it's not a ramble, it's my point. Please tell me that you actually listen and you're going to address what I said and don't just say some random shit.
No. I was listening. I just wanted to ask about one of your points. You said they were stolen from Africa, or were they bought from?
They were stolen.
So the African kings weren't selling them, right?
Get me a bill of sale.
Give you a bill of sale?
Yes.
I don't know if they could write one.
Yeah, they could. They documented everything. Literally, I'm sitting here telling you that everything was documented, and you're trying to be funny because you're saying that you don't know if Black people could, the African people could write one. Sure, that's fine. Either get me a bill of sale or you need to let that shit go because you have no clue what you're talking about.
No clue what I'm talking about.
None.
Like people, yeah, like I didn't.
You have none. Tell me what you've studied.
Then you know what I'm talking about, though.
Give me any type of source to verify anything that you're about to say. Before you say whatever
I
didn't
come up. I came up on here because Parker's live was busy, so
yeah,
I don't have
fuck about that. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine.
Yeah,
go find another line to get. Yes, I kicked you. Go find another live to be annoying as shit on. Then, like if that's your whole point. Like the idea that you guys come up here and you're so, not only are you smug and fucking insufferable, but you don't know shit. You literally don't know anything. So what's the point of you being here if you don't know anything? Like, fuck out of here.
Oh.
Hi, Marcus. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Marcus, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh shit, is that me? Oh, I'm sorry. I got on by mistake. I'm sorry.
All right, no worries. I'll drop you down. Jonathan.
Oh my, you finally let me in.
Be cool or I'm gonna drop you. Remember, you can't do the weird shit, okay?
Yeah, how's it going?
People are insufferable today.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. So remember whose side you on and don't be weird. All right.
I know what side I'm on. I know what side.
Dave, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yeah, I voted for Trump, man. He's lowering. He's the greatest. First of all, he's the greatest president ever. He's lowering gas prices, boy.
Okay.
That's right. It's me, bro. I owned you so many times. That's why you always drop me. I owned your dumb ass.
Okay.
Why the gas price is so low? Answer the question.
No. Do you see anything on the
You
background?
can't answer
about
that.
Gas prices?
You know I'm right, boy.
Okay. You see anything on the background about gas prices?
Bro, I paid $2 and like 20 cents yesterday for.
Hey. I know you're stupid, but I need you to try really hard. Please take a look at the background and let me know if you disagree with any of the points on the background. If not, then we can just move on. And I don't care. Yes, chat, he's trying to somehow insinuate that I'm a quote unquote boy. He's using a racist dog whistle. He's weak. He's super weak, and I don't care about it. Like he can't.
Hey, you are a
trigger
boy.
me.
That's what you.
I know. He can't trigger me, chat. The actual white male fragility will never get to
abolishing ICE. ICE isn't going nowhere. ICE isn't going nowhere, bro.
So you think that we
let's
should
talk about
abolish
ICE.
Okay.
ICE.
Hey, have impulse control, bub.
Let me talk, boy.
I will let you speak. I will give you permission to speak when I want you to speak. Until then, I want you to put a binky in your mouth and catch a bubble. Perfect. So Dave, you said that you don't agree with the point about abolishing ICE. The floor is yours. Tell me why you don't think that we should abolish ICE.
ICE is doing their job, right? And I want to address something real quick. The boy thing.
No, I don't care about that. I want you to finish telling me why we shouldn't abolish ICE. Go.
Can't even talk, bro. All right. So we need to get the illegal immigrants out of this country.
Undocumented, but keep going.
And no, they're illegal. Okay? You got to come in.
That's fine. Undocumented.
Well, let me talk, boy. You keep interrupting me, bro.
Listen. I don't care about your mantrums and I don't care about your microaggressions. I just want you to give me your point so we can debate it. Like at this point, you're serving no purpose. Be useful. Be useful.
To owning you right now. So we just need the illegal immigrants out of the country because, you know, they're taking jobs or, the taxes. You know, I think our taxes are going up.
It's not true.
They just serve no purpose really being here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. It sounds like you don't know much about what undocumented immigrants bring to the country or even the impacts that they have. Can you give me
do know.
anything?
I just told you right now.
That's fine. Can you give me anything that verifies that undocumented immigrants increase taxes?
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Sure. Go ahead and take a moment.
I have to look it up.
Go ahead and take a moment. I got a couple of people.
I know one thing though.
No. Go ahead and look it up. I'll give you a moment.
Wait, could I thank one for you?
Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan.
All right, who am I thanking?
Jasmine. Jasmine sent a $2 donation.
Wow, Jasmine, that $2, that's just amazing. That's helping the cause, Jasmine. Do you know how happy Santa gets when he sees
Santana,
$2?
What are we doing, Jonathan? You're gonna get kicked if you can't even get my name right.
$2.
Sorry.
What a broke bitch. $2. Really?
Hey, you're supposed to be getting a resource, Dave. Like no one cares
Dave.
about what you're saying. Get the resource. Get your source. We need that.
Okay.
Anyway, Jasmine, we love you here. Okay, Jasmine. Santana loves you.
Mm-hmm.
He does. He loves you especially for that. Like, no words can describe how much he loves you.
Okay. All right. That's enough, Jonathan. Like it's getting kind of creepy. We want to be thankful without being like, oh, I'm like touchy. We want to thank them without touching them.
All right.
You understand? Okay.
Yeah.
You're making it weird now. In section.
Shut up, Dave. Go get the resource. I got it. W's in the chat for Jasmine. Jasmine sent a $2 donation. And Jasmine, I see what you're saying as far as don't read it out loud. I will absolutely look into that. Like, I appreciate you sending that information. And one thing that I always try to do is never speak for the indigenous community. I always want to make sure that I'm highlighting what they're saying. And if you feel like you have a place to actually give that information and you feel comfortable with it, you're always more than welcome to request up. I don't like the premise as far as people trying to claim to be indigenous without like having the certain, I guess you would call facts or information. So if you ever are around and you want to share that, absolutely feel free. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you for the $2 donation. W's in chat for Dragon for the $1 donation saying Dave isn't okay. Parents didn't hug. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
I got the source. I got the source. So
sure, 1 second. W's in the chat for Dragon. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Jonathan, I just got word on the background. We're going to let you down.
What?
We'll try it again another day. Just listen to me for a second. You made people uncomfy. So we'll do it again another day. Reel it back in. We'll try it again another day. And next time we'll go a little longer as long as you don't creep people out.
All right, I'll be there in Dean's live tonight.
Jonathan, you cooked him. That's why they're dropping you. That's why he's dropping you. It's like he's going to drop. He's going to.
Jonathan, what is he talking about? You and I didn't debate. This guy's stupid. See, this is why I really wanted you up here, because I wanted you to talk to him. But like, anyway, come back tomorrow or something. We'll try it again, but remember, pull it back, not so much touchy. Got it?
Ah, man.
Right now,
All
I'm
right,
winning.
Santana, you
Right
have a
now,
good
I'm
one.
winning.
All right, thank you. You as well.
All right, bye-bye.
Right now, hey, host, I'm winning right now.
Sure. What's your source?
Bro, so there's the state taxes, they don't pay taxes, so
That's not a source. What's your actual source that says that undocumented immigrants raise taxes?
they raise like, I think it's the federal tax, right?
What's your source? Where are you getting
And
this
they
information
don't-
from? What's your source?
They just gotta be legal, bro. Like, cause
Sure, no,
the
Dave.
taxes
I'm
they pay,
I'm willing to accept your premise. I just need your source so I can see it. What's your source?
Well, this is me saying it, bro. I'm the source for this.
No. The way that you actually have a source that's verifiable is you can say like, oh,
I am cooking
the
it. That's right. I'm
information.
cooking the whole stuff.
Sure. The information, I got this from the Fed. The Fed cited a study that was completed on taxes and the implications of undocumented immigrants. This is the title of the study, or this is the actual data, the data set, or blah, blah, blah. Like, that's an actual source, not you saying, well, you know, the Fed, federal, like, that's not a source. So what's your actual source?
Triggered right now? I mean, I just said it, bro. You sound triggered, bro.
Sure, that's fine. What's your actual source?
Look, bro, all I'm saying is they got to come in the right way. They have to come in the right way, bro.
So you don't have a source?
And they're driving our housing.
So that means you don't have a source.
Driving our housing
So if
prices.
you don't have a source, then you're speaking from the fifis and your tum-tum. Dave, I gave you an opportunity. I gave you even time. I gave you time to go grab a source. I even told you what a source was. Dave, do you have a source? Yes or no?
I cooked you, boy.
Okay. Yeah,
I cooked you, boy.
So again, you don't have a source. This is what's funny, Dave. Like, you came up here and
Why you're
the
mad,
only
bro?
thing that you've had, I'm not mad. I'm
Why you're
actually
mad,
really
bro?
relaxed. You know what? I'm not even mad, Dave. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in you, Dave. I'm disappointed in you because you absolutely showed who you are. The only thing that you have is trying to lean into the racism, and I'm not engaging in the racism. And the only thing that you can do is try even harder with the racism because you don't know anything. The moment that I stopped you from engaging in the racism and told you to actually give information, you stammered, stumbled, and just sounded stupid. I know, Dave, you serve no purpose here.
Gas
And Dave,
prices are
since
down.
you said, I know you've been repeating the same thing, but
Gas
you don't
prices
know
are-
anything. And you know what, Dave,
What it-
since you
what
serve
would it-
no purpose, yeah, you can leave. This is what happens when you put them on Front Street, right? This is what happens when you give them the opportunity to show who they are. They absolutely show who they are. They do it. They do it. He couldn't get a response out of me. And so since he couldn't get a response out of me, he had to engage in what I was saying. He had to engage in what I was saying. And since he couldn't engage with what I was saying, he went back to that same thing. Also, chat, just an FYI, there's no point of reporting people up here. Like, reporting does nothing beneficial to the live. I got it. You guys got to let me do what I'm doing. I got it. All right. Debbie's in the chat for Gary for the $5 donation saying happy Black History Month, birthday to, and happy Black History Month to you as well. I might work listening. Why do Black folks got to work during Black History Month? Yeah, listen. They're always trying to fuck us over in one way or the other. We should at least get, like, you know, some extra holiday pay or something during that time. Debbie's in chat for Brandon for the $1 donation saying Dave is the product of inbreeding and also as a troll and a moron. Keep up the awesome work. Yeah. Like, the whole point is when you give them the opportunity to show who they are, they absolutely show who they are. And, you know, like, that's the thing. Debbie's in the chat for Brandon. Let's see here. Debbie's in the chat for B. B sent a $5 Canadian to say, I agree, B, and I will not read that out loud. W's in the chat for B. All right, guys. I am going to have to call it here because I had a hard stop at 3 hours, and we're a little bit, we're not at 3 hours yet, but we're close to the time that I had to hop off because I do have something I have to do. I don't know if I'll be back later or not. I don't even know if I'll be on anyone's live, but I will be back tomorrow for sure. I will be back tomorrow for sure. Straight MAGA, you said wild runner. Sure. Okay. I just so happened to set my live to end at 10 a.m. Pacific because I knew you were going to be coming in at like 9:55 a.m. That's exactly why I did that. You got me. You figured me out. Darn it. Anyway, guys, we're going to get out of here. Like I said, I got some stuff that I have to take care of, and I may be back later this evening or I may be back tomorrow, but I will be back at some time for sure. Let's do the things.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better
Drew,
take
you
your
said
best
run.
swing.
Drew, you aren't even in the
Mike
reflex.
Hop,
You're a
wanna
clown.
step in the flame.
You guys
ain't
are
a
so
debate.
weird.
This a mind game. Facts type lies get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok tease.
This
This is
is
war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got
Drew,
fire
you're
in
so
my mouth
sensitive.
like I
Go ahead,
came
take that
from
block,
the pit.
baby.
Yeah. Step in it.
Guys, the one thing that I never, I don't think I'll ever get used to how sensitive people on the right are. They're such sensitive snowflakes. They claim to be the ones that are like, oh, tough and alphas and all this other stuff. But yeah, they get dismantled by any form of intellect. They get triggered by Black people, women, anyone that's not a white man that knows more or seems to be in any way, shape, or form better than them. They just immediately crash out. The fragility is fucking wild. But you know what? I can't even blame them. I made the decision to engage with them. I am the one that makes the decision to bring myself here every single day and dominate them with debate. So I put that on me. Not you, not them, but me. But with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys for being here. I love you guys. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for being absolutely amazing. I love you all. I'll see you all tomorrow. And as always,